You already know what that means. It's another episode.
Man.
And I don't got to get into details. Another episode of the greatest podcast in the history of podcasting, and audio storytelling, and news delivery, and journalism. And because we're legit journalists, you should listen to everything we say and take everything we say 100% seriously.
It's all
100% of the time. We're more true than the encyclopedia.
Definitely. Not that serious PDF.
Yeah.
Not that serious.
Yeah. PD, and it's a .pdf. So that's how you know it's legit. So we are here. You already know.
It don't matter.
The squad is here. I'm one of your hostesses with the mostesses. Big Mike, I'm here.
Oh, LZ.
Your boy Corey.
Now, you guys know us.
Yeah, well, first of all, Q is back.
Q is back. And that means the visual is back. Q is back, the real is back, but not the Vil, because we don't listen to that shit over here.
Yeah.
Now, because you guys are not watching the visuals yet, you're just listening now. And you hear another voice here.
Yeah.
Now you know us.
You know us. Do you really?
We are a podcast about expansion and exploration. Now you know my stance on those of the opposite sex for a long time now. More specifically, those of the Caucasoid complexion of the opposite sex. And I think I've made it clear on a few episodes there are about 4 white women that I hold that curry favor with me.
Yeah.
And actually, we are joined here today.
Yeah.
But not only our first white guest.
Damn, you are.
She is.
Yes. She's our first.
Whoa, I should be president now.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like 9 years.
Extra terms. Why not? Start a war. First white woman guest. Cara.
Hello.
What's going on?
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yes. We have now officially sold out, guys. How does it feel?
It feels great, honestly.
It feels good. It feels like a tax break.
We're heading in the right direction. Yeah.
It feels financially responsible.
If you guys want to talk about making profit donations to a non-profit, I can help you out. Those are tax donations that are tax deductible.
See? Look at that.
See all this information
Look at that
we're gathering.
Look at you. See, none of our black women gets not to fuck around.
Y'all just came on here and talked about your pussy.
Just drank our liquor.
Yeah, drank our liquor and smoked our weed.
Sorry, I already finished
Look at Corey. Corey's like, I've been down this road before.
And it's dark, baby.
It's a fast track to nowhere.
Chills.
To nowhere.
He starts seizing up. Corey's having a stroke, you guys.
But yeah,
what's going on, Cara?
Yeah, what's up?
Living the dream.
Yeah.
How we all?
Cara is a good friend of ours, a good friend of mine. I've known Cara for a long, long time.
Long ass time.
Yeah, man. We were in the
Galaxy program.
The Galaxy program.
You read a lot of books.
What's up with the old English lab?
Oh.
No, because every time I think of that class, I think of like how I probably wasn't supposed to be in there.
Yeah, but he was.
He said your mom forced you.
Mike, you had glasses. You were smart.
He did.
I was smart.
He had that white patch forever. He was always distinct.
Yes.
Distinguished.
I was good in that class up until 6th grade. That's when I knew I didn't belong anymore.
Why is that?
Because I remember Miss Simpkins?
She was that bitch.
Yes, and we had the math. That's when I noticed the math. This is too much for me. And everybody around me was just getting it.
Yeah.
And I was just getting Matt, he's just juggling it. He's fucking doing spin 360s with a soccer ball and doing the equations. And I'm just getting C's and D's. But they're still letting me go on the trips. So I was like, all right, I'll stay around.
Oh, we have that picture too.
You
know that everyone's in like jumpsuits.
That was a sleepaway trip.
You know what picture? Do you know what picture I thought you were going to talk about?
Oh, yo, can we not?
You took.
We're not about to do that.
We're gonna do it.
We're not
Because
about to do that.
I was randomly looking for it.
I mean, I went through a digital wipe to destroy that shit.
And it's in my phone.
Is it like a picture of you guys are sitting down in class and I'm on the ground?
No, it's the picture
it's somewhere where y'all went.
Remember when we went to Ryder?
I went to Ryder.
For like that fucking debate trip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did a lot of debate stuff.
And Michael decided.
Was it high school?
No, this is middle school.
Oh, Mike, see threw in the ice cream cone. Yes. Yeah, that bitch got down his throat.
Mike.
That was. We were like, whoa.
Actually, this might have been the first.
It's a video. I got it.
It might have been the first video ever because Mike put the ice cream cone in his mouth. And said,
he was like, ooh.
And then the icing on the cake, he took it out and said, ta-da.
I did say ta-da. Oh my god.
And he did it like so.
Yeah,
like,
it was
his
very
hands were very magician's assistant.
It was.
I don't know what the fuck.
It was very hand modeled.
It was very handsy.
Yeah, man.
That's a
you wiped it.
I went through like a digital wipe of that thing. The only way you could get, if you're like friends with her and you go deep in that motherfucker, I made sure I did a clean sweep of that shit.
I have it somewhere in my phone.
Oh, bruh. Because
trust me, Danny.
what's okay? So what's?
Oh, I could probably pull it up.
Oh, she could definitely find it.
I
What's
have
her
like
page?
a lot of private Facebook.
Yeah, that one.
You have an Android?
Yeah, because I also had a Zune.
I had a Zune.
I know. I saw you post about it. I was like, wow, I feel represented.
Imagine.
No, because it's somebody else who's like normal.
She
and
feels
I'm like,
represented.
oh my fuck off. Because I had a Zune and everyone's like, why do you got a Zune? I was like, my brothers
Zune
are fucking nerds.
Zune was the shit. I had full seasons of Family Guy on that. You can put it on iPod.
Yeah.
Oh no, I had Pineapple Express on my iPod Shuffle.
That came on everybody's iPod Shuffle. What's Pineapple?
It came with it.
Yeah, I got a fucking Droid because I had a Droid forever as my brothers. I wasn't even allowed to have regular AIM. I had like Meebo, which was like, yeah, okay.
You couldn't talk to grown men on there. What the fuck was that?
I could do whatever I want. I don't know. I got bought from those sites. No, but my brothers were always like viruses. I wasn't allowed to have shit. And then, so I was born into an Android family. I was in college. My friends were like, get an iPhone. So I had one for a while. And then I was like, what's the hype? So then I just...
You weren't using your phone right.
No, you guys are just basic ass. I don't know.
Oh, one of those.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Android had those features 3 years ago.
Okay, I have a nice ass... People see pictures that I take and be like, that's a nice ass picture. And be like, yeah.
I guess you're right, because I didn't know you had an Android this whole time. So
Yeah, and I take nice ass pictures.
I guess. Even though your stories are a little sus. Like the text,
yeah, I'd be like,
tell, like
maybe she did that.
No, sometimes things get weird and distorted. Like once it's like uploaded to a different platform, totally, yeah.
Well, we're gonna find this picture, Mike. Don't think we forgot.
Every time.
What did you study at Monmouth?
What did I study at Monmouth? So I originally went in a 5-year master's program for criminal justice, and I did like 1 semester of criminal justice, and was like, this ain't for me. Smoked too much weed to do this, I guess. I was like, yeah, just not beat for it. So I had like a political science professor, and I got into that. So I did my undergrad in political science. I got a business minor, but I finished that program in 3 years. So I got my master's during my senior year. And my like undergraduate thesis was published, and I was in all the fucking clubs in the world. But then I still had the people who either know like super blackout drunk Cara and thought I had 0 brain cells. And then there's only people who knew like class Cara.
We only saw class Cara on Instagram. Yeah. So when I saw that you graduated early, I was like, fuck. What am I?
You see Party Girl Cara? Like literally posted like half naked, like, I'm at a frat party. Let me just wear a bra.
Nah, you didn't really post that type.
You was the one that actually took the ABC party seriously.
Oh shit, yeah, I had the best ABC party.
Yeah.
Weren't
you caution tape one time?
No, never. I'm not a basic ass.
I'm about to say.
Oh, that's disrespectful. First of all, you know what I did? No, because on me, I had gone to my cousin's wedding in New Orleans, and it was St. Patrick's Day weekend. So I got a ton of beads. I got like 8 pounds of beads from one of the parades, like St. Patrick's Day, and I just wore beads as a top and tied fabric.
Look at that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Because
like if I'm not gonna do it 1,100 up here, then why the fuck am I gonna do it?
That's a good. That's how I feel with sex. I'm not just
agree with it. Yeah, you're not gonna do it. You're not gonna go 110%.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I always go extra.
So how was mom? You liked it out? You liked it out there?
A lot of white people.
Well,
unless you were
unless you were an athlete, yes, the track team. Because when there was a guy in the track team, he found out I was from Burlington. He was like, the 609. And I was like, yeah, and he knew I was cool.
No, Devon wasn't there yet.
No, Jalen.
I know Jalen was on the team, but it was somebody that was older than Jalen who like had known my like boyfriend at the time, and so we were at a party with them, and yeah, there was a lot of rich white people. It just made me feel real poor a lot. But I wasn't poor enough to be in like the EOF program. But I was like,
you weren't.
You wasn't EOF.
Yeah, I was in EOF.
That's why white people think black people go to school for free, because there's people in that program. They're like, we don't pay for shit.
I'm like, I do.
Yeah, no. So like, I always worked at least 2 jobs throughout college and did all like the other extracurricular shit.
I remember.
And I got a lot of like scholarship money because like it was expensive at school. I should have went there.
Yeah, I remember when I found out about EOF and what that was, and then like because all my friends in school they were in the EOF program. Yeah, and they were just talking about I just got my refund check. I'm like, you got your what?
Your what?
Yeah, refund check, man. I just got a refund. I just cashed it like $2,500. I'm like. Where'd that come from? The school. I'm like.
Yeah, but a refund, I don't know. I got refund checks, but it was just my loans.
That's loan.
So I thought I was getting fucking money, but no, I got loan money that I
giving it back.
Yeah, how did I pay my rent? Like all these other people, their parents pay their rent and shit. And I was like, oh, you guys don't wake up at 6 a.m. after partying until 4 a.m.
Yeah, it's crazy because like what you said, there are white people that think that you just go to school for free just because.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I've heard that a lot.
So when I was in college, I was working at Cracker Barrel.
Oh, that's a really racist spot too.
When I was
in Florida too.
Yeah, we were in the back.
Florida's yikes. Oh, of course you're in the back.
This white girl.
Of course you're in the back, boy.
No, that's what they do. Like,
I was on break.
Oh no, that's what they do.
Yeah.
She's like, my son will be fine. He's half black. He'll just get scholarship because he's half black.
Dude, if that shit works for everyone, then everyone would be going.
They don't have a mulatto Negro college fund, my nigga. Like that's not how that works.
You don't get mixed breed money.
But there's people that really think that. Like, oh, you're black. You must go to school.
You rather get the Patrick Mahomes college fund.
If that was the case, then don't you think everybody would just go to college?
Yeah, that's not how that works.
So if I knew my mixed son would get a fucking go to school for free, I'm knocking up a white woman tonight.
Oh, my woman's gonna be Italian.
Nah, fuck that. I'm going East European. I'm getting a course.
You're gonna get you a Mediterranean.
Yeah. I'm getting a Nico Bellic looking bitch. old baby Michael, you want to make sex now with your penis? Yes, Svetlana. Svetlana.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
I'd love to see it.
Nice Eastern European from the mud.
Yeah, nice.
They're hard workers. My family's from out there.
Yeah.
Where's your family from?
I'm Irish, if you guys couldn't tell.
Yes.
Just only a quarter.
Okay.
My dad's half Irish, half Croatian. Okay. So that's like Mediterranean.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's his name's from Croatia?
Who?
Dario Saric.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Our boy.
So like, if you guys ever see my dad's like my base color, but he gets tan as shit. Like he's as dark as my hair color, basically. And then my mom is Russian, Polish, and Lithuanian, but it's like,
oh yeah, you all
Jewish.
That out there.
Yeah, it's like Eastern European Jewish stuff, and then like Irish and Croatian. So I have the ability to get tan, but
I'm about to say, do you get tan? I've never seen you get tan.
No, because it doesn't happen. I get a lot of moles. I finally realized like I'm never gonna be tan. Why am I trying? Why does it like nothing bothers me more than a racist white girl going, I like black.
Yeah.
And
I've heard that because I work at the gym.
Oh, so when you get that, I'm gonna almost be as black as you. I'm like, bitch,
oh my god, my mom said I look black because I got so tan.
Listen, people come out the tanning booth and try to put their arm next to.
I'm like,
get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
are you trying to spoil the Power Rangers?
No, it's fucking awful.
It is.
And like, I'm not gonna. What's the fucking point to get like skin cancer? I'm white as shit. Like.
At that point, I don't see it, but to each his own, I guess.
I got a spray tan once. I smelled like soy sauce, and then it came off, and I looked like I had a disease. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was. Oh.
But speaking of the reason why I asked that is because you studied what you studied. Were you ever thinking about going to law school after that?
So I did take the LSAT.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I had a conversation with you years ago. Because your then boyfriend at the time was in law school.
No. He only went to law school because I wanted to go to law school. Like, I did mock trial and everything at Monmouth because, like, of course I did because I just would cry on the stand and shit. And I wanted to go to law school, and then my aunt had gotten me an internship with the president judge of Philadelphia, so she's in charge of all, like, the civil cases.
Okay.
And all the people that were interning that were actually in law school, because I was still an undergrad, were, like, so intense about it. And I was like, this ain't me. Yeah. And so, like, I took the LSAT. I could have went to law school with the scores that I got. I didn't get as high as I wanted. I didn't do bad, but it just, like, I wouldn't have gotten into the places that I, like, would have wanted to go.
Where were you trying to go?
Well, I didn't really have plans, but, like, I could have gotten into a law school, but you don't want to go to law school just to go to law school. You know, like, when people go to, like, medical
law school.
Yeah, you know, when people go to medical school and it's like some name you never heard of. Like, I didn't
relax.
I wasn't gonna call anyone else.
Yeah, relax.
I didn't call anybody else. It's like going to medical school.
He just popped right into my head.
In the Bahamas.
Well, no, so, like, I did it, and then I was like, I just don't think that's me.
Yeah.
So then,
the person that did that.
Yeah,
I didn't say names. All I said was
he's still a doctor.
All I said was
that nigga a doctor,
like
jerk chicken. He ain't no fucking
It's
doctor.
like going to medical school and creative.
Nah, but
okay.
No, but a lot of that is not because of that too. It's because of money. Too.
Yeah,
that's true.
And they accept everybody.
Yeah.
Because they need the money.
And it also depends on, like, the program and stuff you're going to. Like, I know somebody who's, like, in a vet program in the Bahamas, but that's because, like, vet programs in everywhere else are, like,
they only do operations on goats.
No, it's funny because my mom, she works at a doctor's office, and, like, their doctor, he did that. He's like, I was talking.
Okay, but
he's like, how many really talking about?
Okay, but
he literally said it.
How many malpractice suits does he get?
Okay, but also, like, aren't we talking about, like, were the people, like, watching Sunday football fucking eating wings and we're like, that guy should have caught that. Or, like, done something like that. These people still went to med school.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to discredit them.
Yeah, that's
whatever. So
I am, because I'm a hater.
Whatever. So I didn't end up doing that because I was like, so I just got my master's instead because I graduated early. So I just, like,
what a flex.
Just got my master's.
That's a flex. How do you party?
I just got my master's.
Oh, I partied so there was literally.
Still managed to come out with a master's.
You were a raver.
Oh, I used to.
You were what?
Hard.
She raved.
I was like.
No,
yeah, I used to.
Okay, I was like, huh?
Not B.
I was like,
no, I used to, like, rave, like, wear, like, literally just a leotard in, like, in the middle of New York City. I got lost in Harlem in a leotard.
You were by yourself?
Yeah.
How'd that work out for you?
So basically.
Oh my God, we just got all the Caucasoids in this motherfucker. Hey!
She walked downstairs.
We got Lady Pat Mahomes in the house.
Lady
It's like, what's up, Jess? What's up, baby?
Actually, that's Jess Swayze who made this beautiful art. She's in the background right now. You can't see her. You can come over here if you want to. But yeah, so yeah.
Oh, so what was the question?
You were raving.
I used to rave. Yeah.
No, I want to go back to this Harlem and the leotard.
Yes.
How did this work out for you?
Okay, so my friends and I we went to Izu, and my mom made me that shark leotard. You guys ever seen it?
Yeah, the infamous.
Yeah, thank you. So it was either Shark Day. No, maybe I was wearing
Shark Week.
Yeah, I was wearing a galaxy print onesie, like a leotard, just nothing, cheeks out, pair of sneakers, my, like, camelback and shit, or camelback or, like, a fanny pack, and we were doing some, like, uppers, and then
we have a lot of black listeners. You're gonna have to.
Yeah, you gotta.
Because I know there's a thing right now.
What is it? Upper? There are a lot of people like the upper room, like in church. No.
Uppers like ass?
Stimulants.
Just
all right,
shoulder
we're
pads
going to talk about stimulants here. The basic ones you're going to get from college students are going to be your Adderall, your Vyvanse, or if you're really into the raves, we're going to go to harder stuff like E and Molly. There really is no difference because you're buying it from some stranger. Unless you have a test kit. I did have a test kit. Anyway, so I was on one of those. Can't specify because I really don't remember. Anyway, so then I killed like half a fucking liter of tequila, and I knew where I was fucking going. And we got off the train.
Yeah.
And you guys are going that way, but we're supposed to go that way.
Wait, so is this the train getting there or leaving?
Oh, getting in.
Did you ever get in?
This is like 11 a.m. and I'm like, fuck you guys. I know where I'm going right now. And they're all like, no, you don't. I was like, I'm fucking doing it. And he was like, my friend Tyler was like, just let her go. Because honestly, like, we're going to get nowhere. Somebody's going to get hit. Like, she's going to hurt somebody. Like, we got
So let's just leave her?
Like,
let's just let her go.
Well, no, I started walking away. I was like, I know where I'm fucking going. And then I'm like, a couple blocks in the middle of Harlem, and just Aaliyah's hard cheeks out. Like, oh, fuck. Yeah, they were right. I have no idea where I'm going.
Okay, ASAP Mob Center, like...
I got a picture of like literally me in the middle of New York
next to the big L mirror with her fucking
yeah. So then I'm like, all of a sudden I was like, oh shit, no, now I'm scared. And then they had been in line way before me. I crossed the bridge by myself to get to the island.
Luckily, it was
Randall's
daytime.
Island. Yeah, it was daytime. It was like,
but she would have been safe either way, because nobody like. Imagine if this woman gets assaulted
in Harlem. The whole city is
burning that shit to the ground.
In somehow Spider-Man's gonna get there.
Yeah.
And just fucking
Peter Parker. No. Somebody's looking for radioactive spiders to get bitten, to turn into Spider-Man, to turn fucking.
I'm gonna turn this bitch.
Motherfucking Bloomberg the billionaire. He's gonna turn himself into Batman and just start. They're gonna start fucking shit up.
Yeah, everyone was real confused. They were like, she doesn't belong here.
She's obvious.
Yeah, and then
she's like they were concerned.
Yeah, and then so like I ran across the bridge, and then like I randomly found them in line. I was like, oh my god, and they're like, you came back.
Oh my god.
Hours later, just days of confusion.
Yeah, and they were like, oh, you found us. We knew you would find us. And I was like,
wow.
I was like, yeah,
that's trust.
I was like,
that's a gamble and a half.
I was like, I guess you guys were right.
Yeah, you didn't know what the fuck you were
doing. Oh my gosh.
No, I don't trust me.
Oh, you know what we didn't do?
What?
We didn't go everybody's week.
Yeah, well, yeah, let's do that. All right, so everybody, how was your week? We'll start with you, Elsie.
My week was cool. I have a new manager that's above me.
Right.
So the old one is like she's higher up now. So
great.
Yeah. So she's technically she's out the building. But like we still get emails and stuff from her, but she's not like clocking me like how she was.
Good.
So that's nice.
But the other guy, he's cool. Little short dude. He has Tourette's. He's mad cool.
Beautiful.
It's great. He be chilling.
Beautiful.
Yeah. We went today. We had a meeting.
Does he have cursing Tourette's?
It can get that way.
Beautiful.
He told us during our meeting. He was like, sometimes I can curse, but as of right now, he just kind of like makes some noise. Like,
oh, that's fucking fun.
I fuck with it. Like it's.
Oh, I fuck with it too.
Yeah, like he's mad cool.
Nah. Yeah, but you know what's like? It sucks having like a speech impediment. Like I was in speech therapy from pre-K to third grade. Like I couldn't say my own name.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. Now I talk so fucking much.
What was it? What was the dude in our school that had it? Mr. Who had it?
Somebody had Tourette's.
No, he was our superintendent.
Oh, can we say his name on here? Yeah. Fuck that nigga. Iconic. Yeah. He
had the slippy dips.
Yeah. Oh wait, I found the picture. That's why I got lost in Harlem wearing.
Yo, she's wildin'. Imagine you on like 100, like on like 125th. You're on Linux and Mount. You see that?
Who took that picture for you?
I don't know, people.
You asked somebody?
No, it's my friends. That's in the middle of Times Square. Like we stayed.
Oh, she's in the safe zone. There.
No, we stayed in New Jersey, and then we went to Times. We like took the train in to Times Square. Then we took the subway over to the place in Harlem where we could walk over to Randall's Island, like the bridge.
Yeah.
And then when we got off that train, the second train, I was like,
you were going in that picture though, like.
Yeah.
The lights were on, but nobody was home.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Like, apparently I'm very able to be, like, coherent, and then it's like I wake up naked, like...
Oh, you're a creep's nightmare. You're a creep's dream.
Well, no, not with people. I wake up naked alone. I just know how to, like, I got wasted when it's like all my clothes are in, like, a fucking pile, and it was just like...
You
just shed it all?
Yeah. Shout out to you. That's amazing.
That's great.
But, yeah, my week was, it's alright. It's going.
That's good. Corey?
Recover from the flu. I was sick all weekend. I didn't go to work this weekend. Well, I went to work, and I had 104 fever. And then, like,
on the verge of death.
Yeah, one of the managers was like giving me a hard time about leaving.
And this is your second job or your main job?
This is my second job.
I'd be like, I will kill all you.
Bitch, you know,
I don't know if we have enough coverage.
I don't give a fuck what you got.
Well, I'll tell you what's not going to get coverage. My mouth.
Yeah.
Just like a little cat.
There'll be no coverage. Everybody will be sick.
Yeah. So I had to get. Obviously, I went to urgent care after. They told me if it doesn't go down, go to the hospital. They gave me a note for work.
Yeah, hospital money though.
I got good.
I said, did they have
hospital
benefits?
benefits.
Okay, good. That's a dream.
Yeah. So
do you want to get married? What?
But say, don't tempt this man. Don't tempt the bull. Don't tempt the bull.
You go back into familiar waters. He said, I'm used
this territory is very unstrange.
That's been my week, so I've just been recovering, from that. That's it. What you Mike?
My week is cool, man. You know, just chilling. Starting a new job soon, so.
What?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Next couple of days. Just doing like some temp shit till, while the real search continues. Yeah. It is. I'm just noticing just how not easy, but like how there's so many different scammy type jobs out there.
Oh man. Everything's a scam.
There's so many of those like
reaches out to you, you know it's bullshit.
Yeah,
this is if they hire you that day, it's bullshit.
Yes.
If they call interview, bullshit.
Yeah. When they call you that day or the next day, and they want to schedule an interview for that day or the next day, and I'm like, all right, this is some fuck shit right here. Because I got two of those. The day, like two of those people called me the day I got confirmation to start my new spot. So it was like, and literally I just did it on some LinkedIn bullshit real quick. Like, and I swear it was like 3 hours later. They're like, so this is Fred down at
such and such.
Dick Suck Industries and
Dick Suck McCuck.
Dick Suck McCuck Industries, and we just my hiring manager. You sent me over your resume, and it looks like you went to school.
Wow.
So it looks
you spelled your name right. So.
Yeah. You put your middle initial, then a period. So I really like what you're seeing from you, and we want to bring you in for an interview. How's 45 minutes from now? You can do that. You can do that. They're like, it says, are you currently employed, not employed? But either way, 45 minutes from now.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, 45. We can do that.
That's like, I had an interview. This might have been 1.5 years, 2 years ago. I had an interview for a solar company.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait.
Yep.
He has a good story for that.
Yes.
Anything door to door.
Yes.
And
I did that. I canvassed door to door, and you're like, I'm doing a great thing.
No.
And then you're like, how many times can you get fucking rejected before you just cry and want to kill yourself?
Exactly. So
it makes you not want to apply to jobs.
Yeah.
The amount of fucking rejection is like, I'm a pretty great bitch, and you can't see it, and you know what? I'm gonna cry about it now because you can't see it.
And then like they mask it with names like management trainee or service associate.
That's what it was.
Or sales management associate.
So the one I went in for was like management trainee or whatever.
Yeah.
Something like that, right? So it's in like a little office building somewhere in Mount Laurel. So
Yes. Where's this place?
I forget what it was called.
Is it called Signature?
No, not Signature.
Okay. That's the bullshit I was in.
Of course, it's on Indeed, and it's like starting at $60,000 a year.
And you're like, fuck yeah.
I was like, I think I deserve $60,000 a year.
Motherfucker, sign me up. Right? So I pull up to the joint, and I go in, and it's like a little office building. First of all, I knew what I was getting into because I knew what kind of company it was. So there's like a little secretary, and I'm sitting there the whole time like, how the fuck do you get a secretary position for this? What the fuck? Like, who hires the secretary for this, right? Because it's bullshit. So the secretary's like, we'll be with you in 10 minutes. Just fill out this questionnaire. So I have a first round interview, right? And I go in with this dude, and he's in there just like, yeah, bro. So, using all this, like, he's supposed to be like young. So, yeah, bro. So,
he's supposed to be young
so you're gonna
and relatable.
You start out as this, and then after 6 months, if you do really well, you move up and be a manager like me, and I move around and I do all this stuff, right? So then this motherfucker takes out a piece of paper, and he literally draws a triangle.
A pyramid?
No, Is it an inverted pyramid?
Bro, yes.
I'm like, nigga, this is a pyramid. Like,
Oh no, it's a cone.
Yeah, it's an isosceles. Yeah. So like he fucking
the isosceles.
Yeah, so he draws all this shit. And he's like, yeah, if you get this many people and and he's like, so I mean, I think you're really good. Like, we're gonna set you up with a second round.
Hey, bro, you haven't asked me one question. How do you know I'm good?
Right. So they had me do another interview, with the guy who owned it. Right. So this dude was some nigga, right? And he takes me into his office.
That shit probably should have been on his name tag. Some nigga,
right? That was the most empty office I've ever seen in my life. It literally looked like our setup right now. So this is his office, and he's just sitting there. So why do you want to get into whatever?
Because I swear to God, if I call you up and then the address is this house, you got to come down and interview down here.
Son,
listen, I called the police.
That might as well have been it. So he's telling me all this stuff, and he's like, yeah, well, this is the benefits you can get. You can make this amount of money if you just sell this many. So I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, sounds. I'm all right, yeah, I'm just. And I get in my car afterwards. I'm like, yeah, so we're gonna do a follow-up interview tomorrow. So I'm sitting in my car, fucking left. I'm not calling nobody back. Like I just left. It was, bro. It was bull.
You know what's bullshit? I got caught up in that same thing, but it was fresh out of school.
So you know no better.
And I didn't know no better, and I felt so. It was like the first. It was like the first thing I no.
Vector was that shit. Did Vector get you?
Almost. Oh, you feel so cool though when somebody does that. You're like, yeah. Oh, somebody recommended me.
Yeah, I'm selling knives.
Or like that, whatever those drinks are.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I was probably just fresh out of school, and it was like they're like marketing admin. I'm like, that's the key word I'm looking for, marketing. That's my degree, right? Yeah. Click Indeed. And then like 2 hours later.
You know it's bullshit because you don't even have to fill out an application.
No.
Like, your information
also fuck the applications.
Like fuck application.
Okay, I have a resume, read it.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
want me to upload the shit with PDF, nigga, read it.
Yeah, it's not that tough.
So yeah, I fill it in and they called me up like, yeah, you know, you want to come in for an interview tomorrow? And I'm like, all right, cool. So I come in, I get my shirt, tie, nice shiny shoes, shiny Haitian shoes, you know.
Oh my
God. I come in and shit. Yeah, my motherfucking Uncle Fufu shoes. You know what I mean? Grill master shits. I come in, you know, looking nice. And I come in, it's another nigga. He got on like a sweater vest and jeans. Like looking like Draymond Green in that one picture. Remember that one picture where he got the sweater and the jean combo? That's what he looked like. And I'm like, okay.
Red flag one.
This is not good. And then somebody calls me like, Michael? And I'm like, yeah, me. So I talked to the lady for like a couple minutes. She sends me out. She's like, all right, yeah, you know, we'll have a second interview in like an hour if that's cool. I'm like, in an hour?
In an hour?
And I'm like, okay. So I leave, go to fucking like Bob Evans around the corner and I eat breakfast. Yeah, wow.
It's really sad.
With the fire ass biscuits. I chomp one of those. I throw two of those biscuits down my face with some eggs and bacon. Come back. Fucking. They're like, yeah, you know, we're gonna meet you. We're gonna leave with like one of our managing trainers persons. And I'm like, all right, cool. Meet with one of our management people. Turns out he's from around here.
Oh shit! That's
and he's somebody's
first red flag.
I'm not gonna mention the kid's name, but he's somebody's big brother. They're like, oh, you know him? Like,
we know who this is.
And we know who this is.
You want to block the name?
I'm not gonna say it because I don't feel like editing it later.
No,
I don't know.
Oh man, we don't even use the editing tool.
I have work to. I'm trying to
write
get
it down so the rest of us can enjoy.
Yeah, because somebody's gonna read it like, oh, word, and then I'm gonna have to do it again.
No, that made it 10 times.
So
his older brother or him?
His older brother.
Okay. Okay. First of all.
Right.
First of all, they're fucking parties. So.
Right.
That's actually hilarious.
Right. So he's like, yeah, oh, word. So
that's like.
Dude takes me to a local Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, because it's class.
Sits me down in the Dunkin' Donuts and has an impromptu interview with me.
Nice.
And he goes, like you, brings out a piece of paper and starts listing out shit. So, yeah, basically, you're going to start making this amount of money. You work this amount of X amount of weeks making this salary if you do this many sales. And then, boom, you'll be making $100,000 in 14 months. Huh?
If you sign up 1 million people, you'll make $100,000.
I'm like, oh, word. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm really about to sign it. And then this is when they hit me. Like, all right, man. So yeah, we're gonna call you. We're gonna this interview went well. We'll call you later, see if you're good. I'm like, all right, cool. This was fucking 12 p.m.
Oh, you had 12.
At 6 p.m. that night, they called me. They offered me the job. Yeah. They said, we'll see you tomorrow. Wear comfortable shoes.
Oh, no.
All right, people.
Why do you have to wear comfortable shoes?
It's one of those door-to-door. Listen, young people out there in the work, if you're looking in the workforce, if at any point they say, wear comfortable shoes,
out,
and you're not a referee or a coach
or a player,
yeah, or you're not in the NB fuck A, do not apply. Seek employment elsewhere.
Outdoor conditions.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Wear comfortable footwear, shoes, substitute, whatever. Anything around that, get out of there. And so that was like, and I told them no, and I got out of there. But I almost put my comfortable shoes to the side. And you just don't want to do that.
Did I ever tell y'all about the time I spent that whole time, I was looking for my, the company that
I did.
It was like Premium Solutions or something.
Oh. Yes.
Was that
something
it?
Solutions.
Well,
it's always a solution.
This might have been before we started the podcast. Mr. Alade.
No.
Oh, you told me about that.
Yeah.
No.
This motherfucker.
For people who don't know context, who's that?
For people who don't have context, first of all, if you know who Mr. Alade is, no speaking in my class. That's how he sounds. But if you didn't know who Mr. Alade is,
all right, he's an African man with a French accent.
With a French accent, he was one of our teachers.
Oh, so he's Mario Balotelli.
Basically,
Sadio Mane.
Borderline genius. This man was too smart to teach kids.
Cara, no talking in my class.
Yeah, no
that's why he wasn't a good teacher.
That's why he's a horrible teacher because
he's
this man
too
was
intelligent.
too smart. Like everything, math was way too easy.
Well, he probably was overqualified for stuff in Africa, but once you come to America, it's like you're fucked. Like all the people that are Mexican or like the people from Asian countries, and then they're doctors and they're whatever, and then you don't have the same qualifications.
Yeah, no, because my coworker at my part-time job, he was an engineer in Russia. Like
but he doesn't have the qualifications.
Yeah, because he has multiple degrees from Russia, and he was an actual mechanical engineer, and then he comes here, and nobody will hire him because he doesn't have qualifications.
Well, it has to be the same because this guy is just way too smart, right?
Keep going.
So this is when I was working at the trampoline park, so we definitely weren't doing this yet. He comes up to me, he's like, oh yeah, you work here? I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'm chilling, it's all right. He's like, well, would you like to have a second job? You can make like $1,000 a week. Me and my hungry money ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, nigga, sign me up then. You feel me? I'm trying to get these jealous.
All you gotta do is stand in this corner.
Yeah.
And then open the cars. Yeah. And they'll whip their dicks out.
And suck.
You suck to completion.
So he asked me, and at the time I was working as a boy named Jeremy. So me and Jeremy go to this meeting, and we get in there, right? And it's just a bunch of random people. Everybody's smiling. I felt like they were about to purge. Oh. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So we had to like sign in and like sign your name, and everybody's like, "Hey, how you doing? How you doing?"
It sounds like a fucking cult.
It was like being in a Forex webinar, but in real life. So
remember we talked about that last week?
It was like a Forex webinar. That's what it is in person. So we were in there, and I'm just like, "Yo, Jeremy, this shit has to be a scam. Like this don't feel right at all. Ain't nobody like. Why are we here at 6:30 in an office building in fucking Mount Laurel or everywhere?" So I Googled this shit. The first thing that came up was scam. Right? And the dude, somebody left a review. They're like, if you're in one of their meetings right now, get out and run. I was like, Jeremy, look at this. He was like, oh fuck no, we're out of here. So we got up, we fucking scooter. He's like, hey, you leaving? I'm like, nigga, I'll get the fuck out of here.
Get out and run.
Fucking skirted out of that fucking. Oh my god. Yeah.
So
fuck you, Mr. Lottie, for trying to put me through that.
So look, right. My coworker at my part-time job, he was telling me that he had like a scam job, and his job, he was like on the lower level.
Mm.
So he said in the morning he would have to wear a suit, and it was door to door. What do? You just go to people's houses and you just sell them things. And they would be like, you had 3 things to sell them, and you just sell them. And I was like, well, what would you be selling? He'd be like, you have like a yo-yo.
No.
I'm not lying.
Hey, are you tired of constant video game simulation? You want to go back to the old times? Here's a fucking yo-yo.
Snail and salt in the same game.
So pretty much he was saying it would be like all the items would change every day, right? So, but he was saying like this is in Virginia. He was like, bro, it's hot as hell.
Yes.
You walk around in 3 feet.
You're walking around in a suit, so you like you go to different people's houses. You only have like a yo-yo, a pair of glasses, and like another random item. And then
You gotta sell this?
I can imagine this.
Like, you get the fuck off my doorstep, nigga.
You go to the door like, who is mighty damn hot? Are you tired of constant video stimulation? Woo.
I'm literally crying telling the story. And then like he was saying that so they give you all these items in the morning. You're not supposed to come back with any because you're supposed to like sell one of the 3.
Y'all throw them bitches in the trash.
He comes back like the FBI, they're raiding shit. Yes.
What? That's an office building?
Like an office building. Yeah, so look right there.
Some yo-yos had cocaine in them.
He was saying that like in the morning, he was like, it just felt like in the morning they would go to like Party City and just get random shit. Sell it.
You gonna sell the shit at the tablecloth. You gonna like it.
Yeah. So, but he was saying that like if you sold one of the 3, you got like a crazy incentive.
We've got Tina Turner wigs, a 6-pack of Annihilator bubble gum,
You gonna the door with
and dildos.
The choice is yours. Yeah, that's like my boy. He worked for Amway. Have y'all ever heard of Amway?
Yeah, I went to an undisclosed name.
Yeah.
From Township.
Dragged you into an Amway meeting?
No, I went to a meeting and I like came back. My mom's like, "Scam, fuck off, like grow up." I was like 17. I was like, "This is such a great idea!"
This
Like,
can't be a scam. They get $5,000 a day.
and my mom was like, "You're not fucking doing that. Grow up. No,
So,
you're not."
This is in college. This is my freshman year. My boy Kev. Shout out Kev. He's actually.
Yeah, hold on. Can we I want to stop right now.
What?
I just want to call attention to the fact that LZ has his dangly earring facing the camera.
It's always on the right side.
Is it really?
Tattoo on that side too.
Okay.
Keep going.
But my boy Kev. So this motherfucker, he was just a salesman at heart. So that's like what he like. He just likes to sell shit. Like he just likes to feel like he's getting over on people.
Oh, me too.
Basically,
it's like it's like everything's a scam, even though it's not a scam. I
I feel like y'all gonna grow up to be them couponer people.
Dude, first of all, I did it. Got my mom a lot of free shit. Second of all, I made $30 after my snail died just from. Yeah, you guys ever heard of my snail scam?
Huh?
Cara, tell that.
You have a snail scam.
Pause that.
Yeah. That sounds way better than what I was about to say.
So,
let me find out Cara's TJX6.
Yeah, right.
all right. So I have a beta fish named Bob.
Okay.
There's Bob, and then
Is this wait? Okay, never mind.
no, this is real. This is real life.
I thought this was part of the scam. I'm like, yo, you got me already.
No, I'll let you know. You'll understand the scam part.
Okay.
It's not really a. If
you call it a scam, it's a scam. Don't try to.
All right, people. Okay, whatever. So I had a beta fish, and then I had 2 snails for him. And that was like and then I had another beta fish and whatever. So that Bob was like a Fight Club themed tank. So it was Bob, like Robert Paulson. And then he had Tyler Durden was one of the snails.
Amazing.
And like, I forget what the other snail's name, because Tyler Durden died. So he died. And I posted a picture and I said on Twitter, I was like, Tyler Durden my snail would always wanted a donation made in his name to my Venmo account.
You're lying.
So my sister-in-law sent me $5. And so I posted it. And I posted the original thing and then that on Snapchat. And on Twitter I responded. I said, thank you so much for this donation. Because of this donation, we were able to establish the Tyler Durden Educational Fund. And
What?
Yeah, so then I kept posting it, and then people just like attention. So like somebody would send me like 69 cents to be funny, 50 cents, $1, 1 cent. Like Amy sent out messages to like, boys in your DMs that like, oh, these guys would fucking die for me if I'm like, hey, can I fuck you in the ass with a dildo? They'd be like, when and where? So she messaged a guy. It was like, can you please donate? My friend Cara is very passionate about snails aquaria and their plight within our system. Yeah, so like I ended up making like $32. I bought like a new snail.
Yeah.
I bought a new snail, and like that's a snail scam.
Hey, yo,
and my fucking birthday. My sister-in-law again sent me like $15. Buy yourself a drink. I screenshotted it, posted it, and then it makes other people feel bad. I got like $100 of just people Venmoing me on my birthday just because they felt guilty that they couldn't hang out with me.
I need to do that.
I was in Florida too. Word. Shit, I was by myself. I got ghosted, so I ended up in Florida alone.
Damn.
We gotta.
Well, I mean, they made it better for you.
Yeah. Corey, let's get you one of your dogs and kill it so we can rack up.
Let's get one of your dogs and whack it, and we'll start a GoFundMe.
And then you know what we can do with the money?
It's gonna go.
Buy another dog we can kill.
Double down.
Re-up on the dog. Or the dog hustle.
I was not taking care of the snail.
Well, in Corey's case.
We just give it a nice, good old friendly headlock.
There's more dogs out there.
Wait till it stops kicking.
See what I go through.
Oh, God.
Anyway, if anyone wants to donate to the plight of Snails Aquaria, my Venmo is
Snails Aquaria.
CARATURCICH.
That's basically what OnlyFans is at this point.
Yo, bro.
It's a scam. Did you see the girl I made $100,000?
Dude, you know how much money I made telling people I would send them nudes if they donated for organ donation?
And did you send it?
No.
Oh. Yo, women is like, they can like, She was
didn't say yes or no.
Yeah, she was just like, huh?
I mean, there are some pictures that I do have on my phone that are, people think they're special. They're just very good pictures that get recycled.
Recycled down. Took this just for you.
There's also like weird pictures of me like up at like 4 a.m. and my cheeks are out. So it's just like.
Gang shit.
Yeah, whatever.
Nice.
A body's a body, right?
A body is a body.
What's the fun name?
Snapchat?
What's the name of the
Real drunk Cara. XOXOCARAT on Snapchat. We got some great content sometimes. Sparkly butt.
Sparkly butt.
If you're in the white ass, follow.
Yeah. What was I saying? Oh, my boy. It was so stupid compared to that. Like, he was so fixated on Amway. He was like, yeah, man. I guess he went to one of those meetings where niggas just wear suits for no reason.
And converted.
It was kind of like the Brotherhood, right? So.
It's not, we're not. Y'all do a lot of slander in my organization over here, and I'm not having that shit.
Is it still going, or?
Yeah, it's still going. Yeah, they done blew that shit up, bro. Mm-hmm. They like bigger than the frats out there. I ain't gonna hold
really?
you.
Yeah, they're strolling and shit? That'd be wild.
No, they don't stroll. But they got like a little chant, which kind of makes me nervous.
Pizza and shit. They got a chant?
They got a chant.
Yikes.
But they just say like,
Brotherhood.
Yeah, something shit like that.
Brotherhood, like something like that.
Something like
light. It's light.
It's light. It's like super light. Like nothing.
Yeah, nothing obnoxious.
No, nothing like they're trying.
It's not like a groove shit. Is it?
Oh God, yo, that. All right, listen, yo. Them niggas. Listen, I don't listen. All right, I don't listen. I respect all fraternities. I joke on some niggas. But like fraternities and like, cause ultimately they exist to like do good in the community. And, like,
you were in that story.
Oh yeah, I wasn't good at it.
You were?
I wasn't good at it because people don't tend to like me. I was the kind of girl in the meetings where I would like say something, and then afterwards people were like, I really wanted to say that, but I just like didn't do it. But then everyone else hated me. That's
you said whatever.
Been my whole life.
Yeah. Cara's
yo,
Cara's a super villain. That's the name of
it. Cara's the martyr, yo. She's like the fucking white woman.
Yeah,
Mahatma
I'm just the
Gandhi.
one that like I'll die for everyone, whatever. I just like wasn't good
if Mahatma Gandhi had like a pink puss, it'd be Cara. A pink freckled puss.
Oh my! I don't think there's freckles.
Did you say I don't think there's freckles?
I don't think there's.
I don't know.
How many times somebody hit you with the carpet match the drapes?
No one's ever said anything about freckles. It's the first time I've been like that. It's
You
always
did
like
the
carpets match the drapes, but like I don't know. I have like white leg hair. It's very translucent, but my like pit hair is like dark. Yeah, like my leg hair is very long, but
see, only the good content on Not That Serious podcast.
You're not getting
what other podcast is giving you
podcasts.
white leg hair?
Yeah.
No. Not those other guys across the street.
Yeah, people don't give a shit, especially since like my leg hair is like basically clear. Guys don't really feel it, so I don't care.
Yeah, people.
Because like Italian girls, I know so many Italian girls that like shave their entire body because they got made fun of in like middle school. But like I was lucky. I'm hairy as shit, but it's just like so blonde you don't really see it.
Yeah, okay.
But like my armpit hair is like dark.
It's amazing.
But the rest of it.
So where was we?
But the rest of it is just up.
The rest of it is a fucking mess.
What were you saying? One-way, brotherhood.
Oh, the fraternity.
Oh, I was in a sorority. Yeah. So I was in a sorority. It's great for some people. I did it because I went through a really bad breakup, and I was like, I'm gonna do something for myself. And you know what? I fucking spent a lot of money to have a lot of people not like me.
Okay, I've always wondered. What do they make you do?
Well, no, because we started ours on our campus.
You started it. Okay.
Like it was it's a national one, yeah. Like we were like the first ones. But like I also did so much other school shit, and I was poor, and I worked a lot in college, and it was fucking stupid as shit for me. It's really great for other people. I mostly wanted it, like, and I tried to connect with the alumni after I graduated just for, like, doing, like, community service stuff, but they most wanted, like, sisterhood. I was like, nah, bitch, I'm trying to help the world. I don't want a friend.
Yeah. That's the difference between black brats and white and black,
Well, I feel like also, like, black people tend to join, like, later in life a lot of times. Like, if a white person joins later in life, it's like, it's some, like, creepy mom who, like, needs love, and it's, weird.
I've never seen anybody join a white fraternity or sorority after.
It's creepy. That's
I've never seen grad, but
yeah, because they do it in a weird way. Because like I feel like it's a completely different thing. Like they call them the multicultural ones. Because like we had like Lambda, like the Hispanic one. Yeah. They like the maroon and stuff. Yeah. And like
LTA.
Yeah, and that's like completely different than like the white stuff is so.
Very different.
It's a really the black fraternities and sororities are just like in a whole different game.
It's a different ball game. But there is two in particular that we were speaking of.
So
that are not in that ball game.
So it's all right. And I know it's one called G5G, and it's called
Sister Frat or sorority.
Swing Phi Swing, and the G5G means groove, Phi groove. Listen, I'm no disrespect. Nah, just some of the individuals I met, I don't know on the whole scale. I never met that many of them.
I'm sure there's some cool ones out there. I'm
sure it was, but the ones I met it's very odd group of people.
Corny.
Yeah, but I feel like they always like make shit up about different ones. Like they called like some 5'6", like 5 Piggy, but they were hot on other campuses.
Well, this.
You know what?
That's true.
Some of the ones on my school,
where they're 5 Piggy. Yeah, they make up like real mean. Some
have
like,
stereotypes.
Yeah,
some of the shits are like white sororities do. You're like, oh, all the frats get in trouble, but these white sorority girls are fucking psychopaths.
Yeah, I heard.
Oh yeah, I heard it's just shit. Like
I didn't go through any of it because I wouldn't have gone through it. Some bitch would have died.
Yeah, because I remember when my I'll never doubt what they put you through some shit. Because I remember my roommate freshman year, he was playing like Pike or some shit.
Oh,
yeah. So
Rutgers?
No, it's Montclair.
Oh, but so
he can't. I'm just like, I remember one time just being in my room and he just comes in frantically,
busting just a white shirt too.
He's like, yo, do you have a black bandana?
No pants on.
I'm like,
why's your dick out?
I'm like, yo, first, put your dick away. Second. No. He's like, yo, bro, do you got a black bandana? I'm like, nah, I really need it. I need a black bandana. I'm like,
no reason to lie to you.
sir, don't have one. I'm not a crit right now. Like, I'm not just banging right here. I don't need a bandana. Like, what the fuck would I need one for?
Yeah.
He's like, all right, man, cool. And then he just rushes out into the night.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like, when he was the perfect roommate, that nigga was perfect.
He's
He would
never there.
leave on Thursdays
Come back
and
Sunday.
would come back Sunday nights.
Was he a mama's boy?
Mwah.
Like,
I don't know. He just had a lot of shit
He
going on back at
I
home.
he probably lived close.
He had a
yeah, but I
job.
hate
and
that
shit.
you have like shit going home. Then like, why'd you go out to school?
So I don't give a fuck. He was out of
like,
my
good for
hair.
you.
My roommate used to leave all the time. I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
All my roommates moved out freshman year. Like, we had an 8 suite thing, and then it ended up being 3 girls.
See,
Why?
first of all,
What y'all
that's dangerous because all y'all periods sync, right?
No, because like if you're on birth control, then it can't.
Oh, it blocks the Bluetooth.
Well, because you only get it like
Blocks the
certain-
waves.
Yeah, it blocks the Bluetooth.
No, certain times. Like
Okay.
I only get my period 4 times a year because I'm on like the pill. that,
Season
like-
week?
Yeah, it's like the generic because I'm cheap.
What, man? Bro, you know how many scares I had? I had to keep up with this shit, bro.
I'm
If
gonna tell
guys-
you the good shit.
Okay.
I know which ones that get them little niggas out.
Yeah, PSA,
I know
guys.
about baby blockers.
Make sure your girl is on birth control, or make sure you're fucking wrapped up. Because you know what? The only times it's okay to get pregnant right now, we're going to war. Please, somebody knock me up. Second of all,
What?
Yo!
second of all,
I like your outfit.
second of all, just like don't fucking do it. Like it's so expensive. You know those people in front, like they're so happy.
Yeah.
Somebody's
really
murdering
sad.
their entire family.
They want to put that fucking baby in a tub, and I'm not taking
Yeah.
it. They don't mean take a bath.
What?
Poli sci major.
Yeah.
What is your opinion on what's
They
going on?
want the bubbles to
What's going
stop.
on with
Like,
With the
Trump-
world right now,
with
like
us in Iran.
Bobby! Bobby, you
all right. All right.
Mommy, I just had a baby.
You're too much.
Mommy, where's your soap?
Yeah.
I don't have my towel. You don't need no towels in heaven, baby.
Oh my God. You're driving Cara to drink.
Oh, all right, that was good.
Anyway, postpartum depression is not a joke. It affects a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely. Before we get off pregnancy, you see a girl who said she had 11 kids and she really didn't.
She didn't. So that girl didn't have 11 kids.
How do you say you have 11 kids? I feel like
And then you talking about that black lady, right?
Yeah, she said she was a single mother with 11 kids and she couldn't find a job.
Oh yeah.
Turns out she had like 2 kids and she was actually like stealing from somebody.
No, she worked at Taco Bell.
Yeah, like it was the complete opposite.
Okay, but I would love to work at Taco. I just want Taco Bell now.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I want Doritos Locos.
I got just like worked
She's
up.
ready to crunch.
She said she can't raise kids off Doritos Locos. Full of shit.
No, I did not.
Raising little niggas on spicy nacho in the Cool Ranch.
Oh, cheesy gordita crunches.
Yeah.
You can't make it happen.
You can't make it work, bitch.
Oh man, but
You hustling backwards.
So,
Man, get them little niggas a Mountain Dew slushies.
Oh, they're so fucking
they're
good.
so good. Oh,
Baja Blast.
That's a balanced
Baja
diet.
Blast, yes.
Baja Blast, Gordita Crunches.
What were you saying about the?
What?
Oh, yeah, so
like
about
the
this
current
war.
state of what? Oh, Iran. Funny you should ask. I'm very liberal. If you guys had no fucking idea.
Yeah.
That's why we fuck with you.
Yeah. Very liberal. Raised by a closeted Republican and I didn't vote for Obama because he said he wanted to kill Jews and my children are Jews kind of Republican. My dad was a closeted Republican too. But
Obama said that?
No.
No, Obama's pastor had made some sort of remark
I do remember
one
that.
time
I
a long
remember
time
that.
ago, and my dad, who has
Clung on to that.
four Jewish kids, was like, "Nobody's saying shit about my babies." I was like, "Okay, but you're also like a poor white dude, so why are you a Republican anyway?"
Trump,
No, 'cause, like,
Trump
Anyway.
hates you.
No, wait, no. Most
Well,
white
no, because
people-
it's a lot of it's like. The thing is, both my parents are very intelligent, but they're very poor because of bad decisions and like, alcoholism when I was younger and like domestic violence situation when I was younger. Like my parents, yikes! It's a miracle I came out this well. Like, But
Like,
no, but like they're like
Yeah.
my parents are both like my mom doesn't talk about politics, but they're both definitely Republicans, and my brothers and I are all just like very liberal, fucking all that. So like what's going on right now? There was all the impeachment stuff, and then all of a sudden something big happens. And the other thing is that like American media does a lot of censoring things. So when I went to Israel on birthright because my mom's family's Jewish, I went in 2014, and that's the first time they were like shooting at Jerusalem, and everyone's freaking out because American news is like playing it up to be this big fucking thing. Like people are messaging me like we got like they were shooting at, but they have the Iron Dome that protects everything that America spends millions of dollars on every year. That literally protects all of Israel. And also they talk about like missiles from like other places, are not like full size missiles. But like everyone's bugging out. But like it was so normal. Our bus driver was like, "Oh, it's fine. It's just all the tourists who ran into like the bomb shelters," because like they knew nothing was gonna fucking happen. And I feel like that's how a lot of times like American media like portrayed it to be like such a fucking crazy thing. But I feel like it's kind of like opposite in this situation. Like how they kept saying they were reviewing stuff and they were reviewing stuff. I had a customer come into work yesterday, like work at a restaurant, and her son's like girlfriend was almost not let out of Iran because like they were trying to leave right before that, and she had friends that were still stuck there, and they had already confirmed like 30 American deaths. But that's America was still saying that like nothing was happening.
Yeah.
So like I feel like it's really hard to ever know what's going on because you're gonna have the bias of like what country you're listening to the news from, what political side of the spectrum you're listening to news from. Like, especially when you go abroad, like you see so many more different perspectives.
Yeah.
And like America focuses like very weird.
Yeah.
Especially with our current administration being like the way it is.
That's why
I don't know. It's all
that's why I
fucked.
feel like Twitter is so important now.
Yeah.
Because it's very unfiltered. And
Yeah.
you see both sides.
Yeah.
Like you can literally go on Iranian Twitter and see exactly how they
They're like, yo, no.
Yeah. And
Like
like
literally they're like, we don't like I saw a video, they were like, I mean, it's not America, it's the president.
Yeah. And it's also just like
But then I remember that video. I don't know. I was watching that video and the guy.
Really saying that?
No, I think the guy was really saying that. But when I'm looking in the crowd was looking like
different. Like,
yeah, because
they're like, no, fuck them too. Like,
well, the other thing is you think about it, like everyone's making jokes on like social media, which is fine because we're going through like something that we haven't gone through before, so people are going to be making jokes,
and they will go through that
and
every
it's
day.
funny too, especially when it's like all these like Republican ass motherfuckers are like go back to your own country, then all of a sudden it's like let's defend our troops and like everyone do that kind of thing, which is completely fine, but having to like understand and actually being in those places, like when I was up in the Golan Heights, you heard gunfire and then you heard like a break and you just heard the midday prayers being like blasted, like literally like loudspeakers everywhere. Everyone stops to pray and then it cuts again and then you just hear like mortar fire again. Like that's their everyday.
Yeah.
Like we're able to joke about it because we're not like actually in it, and people are able to joke about like different things because they don't actually like experience it. But like once you experience it, like it's a completely different thing.
You have a different view when you're in the shit every day.
Yeah, so it's like it's also you like get desensitized to it and like that whole thing, and like what they're going through is completely different. Like if anyone fucking touched America in the way that like we just did something to them, then it'd be completely different. But we have those interactions every single day, and then we expect nobody to do anything to us. Because like after we came to like prominence after World War I, and we were able to like do all that stuff, and then World War II really cemented like our place in the world, we were untouchable. Well, fucking why?
Because we
fucking
had
suck.
because we were wilding and we had that show of power. We fucking
and it's the same
obliterated
two nukes, bro.
and we fucking destroyed you know.
And the thing is like
they're still not right off that.
So like what happened like in Africa and like and the Middle East is very similar, where America goes in to areas where there are like there's different tribes and different like local communities, and we were just like, hey, no, we're just gonna like this is Nigeria, this is this, oh, this is Iran, this is Iraq. Here, we're gonna put the Kurdish people with these people, the Turks, and like all this.
And
shit.
they've fucking been beat.
And then like you don't understand why individual republics or like the democratic places you're trying to make they don't work because you put two dueling places that have been dueling two communities forever, and you just go in like, well, we have money to do this, so like
it's literally
let's
like
pick this area.
It's literally like going into a place like, all right, boom, this block and this block. This block is a bunch of blood people. This block is a bunch of Crip people. And
but now you're one.
Now you're one community. You guys have to vote together to make decisions. Figure it out.
And everything you do wrong, it's because like it wasn't because I put you in. It's not because me as a white person.
Yeah.
Me as a white person put you in this situation. It's because
you guys are uncivilized enough to make it.
Uncivilized fucking swine that weren't able to deal with it. Meanwhile, fucking white people have been fighting each other for fucking ever. We've been fucking our own cousins and like shit like that, but nobody has shit to say.
Shout out.
Shit, I'll say y'all fucking your own cousins.
Oh yeah. Well, no
but
shit.
But it's
It's like we can do whatever the fuck we want. Like going back for forever, like the reason why people have certain last names that they do, like white people, I could, as like if I was a white male plantation owner, I can fuck whoever I want, and I have like fucking mixed kids, it's fine. But as soon as like a black man even looks at a white girl,
and you don't even get to like acknowledge some of those kids. Like you just let them kids just like I'm gonna fuck this lady.
I had them kids. I know they're my kids. Oh, they get to be my kitchen staff because that's like a little bit nicer.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's the kind of shit where like Emmett Till just like getting fucking murdered for no fucking reason and nobody cares about it, and people still bring it out day to day, and like white people be like, well, that wasn't me. Yeah. And, like, I wouldn't do that now. But, like, the same kind of, like, mob mentality that goes into those, like, high-profile cases where you'll see a picture of, like, a black defendant or a black victim. A black victim in a case, and it's, like, a fucking mugshot or some shit. And it's a white defendant. Like, here's my, like, here's my, like, I was in a sorority. Here's my fucking picture, and I had a gun, and I shot you because I actually broke into your house, that motherfucking cop that broke into that guy's house and fucking killed him and was trying to say that, like, no, bitch, you were in the wrong fucking place.
Yeah.
Amber Geiger.
Yeah, and, like...
That shit still don't make no sense to me.
There's so many...
What, she get 10 years for that?
She got 10.
She's not even going to see 10 years, though. That's the other fucking thing. And you know what? She's probably going to destroy in fucking prison. That's at least, like, you could feel good about, like, a pedophile going to prison because you know at least they're going to get fucking destroyed.
Yeah.
But, like, no, because she used to be a cop. They probably have her fucking house in some bullshit ass.
Sure. Yeah. I have a question.
Sorry.
No. I love it. We love it when...
My friends are like, you're white, right?
You're fired up.
You're gonna get a lot of DM activity, I think, after this episode. Because you're, like, you're woke. So...
Well, it's just, like, you have to be, like... You have to experience it. Like, I was trying to tell my sister-in-law, like, oh, I'm going to be on podcast. She's like, oh, how do you know the people? Explain a little, like, our 8th grade science situation. I was like, these people fucking know me, but they also know I've always been chill. Because, like, I feel like being raised, like, Jewish, I was made fun of all the fucking time. It's not the same thing as being black.
No, I want to ask that. Like, what was that? Because I really...
Everyone was weird about it, right?
Yeah, I do remember people being weird about it because everybody's so used to like, oh, Christmas and like, what the fuck is Hanukkah? Like, I remember that.
I was like the token like Jew.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, don't say Merry Christmas to Cara because she's Jewish.
Yeah, but like
I remember that.
Really Jewish though. That's the other thing where like.
Make sure we get a star for Cara.
Yeah.
Make sure she gets the menorah.
And like we weren't even like really Jewish. Like the Nebias, like they were like real Jews.
Oh, yeah,
like they had their like bar mitzvahs, all that shit. My family was just my mom's Jewish, my dad's Catholic. They were basically just like, here we do these things. Choose whatever the fuck you want. But then when I got labeled Jewish, then people get weird.
So do you think like you experiencing that, like growing up Jewish, well, not growing up Jewish, but being labeled as Jewish or dealing with that type of stuff, like kind of made you more sensitive to like.
Well, everyone also fucking hated me, and the only people who were like the white girls hated me because they always thought I was like flirting with their boyfriends. I was like, they just like me because I have a personality.
Maybe it was chilling.
Like, people liked me because, like, whatever, and then so people would hate me, and I felt like I became friends with, like, I've been friends with Fallon forever, like, since 1st grade, but, like, Fallon and Tyra and I were, like, really good friends, like...
Tyra?
Yeah, like, 7th and 8th grade, because, like, all the white girls fucking hated me, because they were like, you're flirting with my boyfriends, like, okay...
I'm just talking.
We're just talking, I have a personality, like, I don't know, I guess you're threatened or something, and, like, I felt like I was, like, accepted by... Because I wasn't accepted by the white people. They fucking, like, hated me.
So Cara came in one day eating hot Cheetos with a puff.
Oh, I would
with a puff jacket.
Like, yo, what the fuck is cracking my
I'd be like, I don't drink water. What's water? No.
Cara, you had the juice.
Yeah.
But like I said, we had class together. We had 8th grade science.
Yes.
You did whatever the fuck you wanted.
You know what it
We had a
was?
teacher, his name was Mr. Cox.
Yeah, he's the most misogynistic 90s, 50s motherfucker.
Yeah.
Call me
110%.
girls.
But I didn't realize that he was that way. It makes sense now.
Yeah, I didn't realize either. I fucking hated him.
Yeah, but Cara was never wrong. And I think that's why you really never got in trouble. He would just let you do whatever because he was weird.
No, she got some shit off.
No.
She got shit
If I was a black dude, I would have been fucking suspended.
She was like, I remember one time.
Didn't you kick somebody?
I remember she went up and yelled in fucking Mr. Cobb's face and then walked out.
Oh, when I called him an asshole?
Yeah, I'm like, I was there. Yo, what the fuck is going on?
He said something, I got fucking mad about it. Him and I were both yelling at each other, and I feel like
they were having a screaming contest.
Well, because like he also like didn't see me as a student because I felt like he thought I was smarter, so he always like treated me like more as an adult. Which like also hyped me up. So then like I was like, yeah, fuck this dude. I have 3 brothers. I was also raised like not take any shit.
Yeah, and you didn't.
Yeah, so like he would say some fucked shit or like some sexist stuff, and I would call him out. I don't remember specifically what happened that day.
I remember you walking out though.
But yeah, we got in a fight, and I remember calling him a fucking asshole and slamming the door, and I walked right to the principal's office. And I was like, yeah, I'm fucked. She had like an apple juice ready for me, and she was like,
"You just fucking drinking it, just tapping your foot."
I was like, "What do you want to know?"
With a fake Spider-Man cigarette, like, I can't wait to get this fucking asshole out.
Yeah, I was like, you know what?
The fuck is going on?
Yeah, and you know what fucking happened from that?
What?
We were talking, and I like explained everything, and then we had a meeting together. And in our meeting together, he was like, "Cara's the smartest student I have. Like, she doesn't even have to answer questions. Like, usually she's the only person with her hands up. I know that she understands everything fully, even like to a different level than everyone else. So like we don't get along. We have personality conflict. This is my fucking teacher. I'm in 8th grade. I'm 13. About 13 years old.
Personality conflict.
Yeah,
with a grown man.
With like a 50-something-year-old
Hey,
man.
dude, he taught my dad.
Yeah,
like taught my dad. My dad didn't like him either.
Yeah, he was like a 30.
Wait, he taught your dad too.
My dad beefed with him too.
Mr. Cott was there.
Yeah, it was like a 40-year-old difference, and he was like, "This 13-year-old girl, yeah, she's smart enough. She doesn't have to
challenging me."
Yeah, so we basically like we had an agreement, like an official agreement with the principal. That I didn't have to talk, and we weren't allowed to talk to each other for the rest of the year. And this was like halfway through the year, maybe about halfway through the year. So then we just fucking let loose. I used to just sit between Julian and Mike, just like
and CJ sitting in front of us.
And I would just sit between you two and just be like, he can't say shit. We'd like make like blowjob jokes and like whatever.
Because we were also like. I mean, because
Tiffany was in there.
His class was like disgustingly easy, so it was like I was always getting A's in that bitch, and he just did not like that. Because it was nothing like it's nothing to.
Oh, because it was like argumentative ass me. Like, no, display.
And we got our motherfucking. We're in here. We got our privilege shield in the.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like, stop it. Stop. We got a motherfucking
Cara in front of us.
Cara.
Yeah, we did the most fucked up shit. Like I don't know how we even like.
That's the class where Mike punched the old boy in the chest.
You punched him in the chest.
If you listen to us since day one, we tell the story on literally the first episode.
Oh yeah, I did.
And we said too much. Actually, no, we deleted this episode.
I did delete
this episode. It was episode 0.
Yes, I did.
He punched CJ. We said his last name at the time.
I'm just gonna say just
CJ.
I punched
CJ with the yo-yo. Have you ever seen CJ with the yo-yo?
Shout out to him.
He won competitions.
He's wrestling now.
He is?
Really?
Oh yeah, I knew that. And
he's pretty damn good.
He does flips and all that shit.
That's probably a skip for him.
our grade?
Yeah, you know what we're talking about.
When I show you,
blonde kid. You know who we're talking about.
When I was Rachel in 8th grade.
Yeah.
So
I really can't describe him any more than this. But anyway,
if we say anything else, like then
I'm gonna just give you a social security next.
Yeah.
So.
Wait, sorry.
I'm gonna run the what?
Do you remember? I was laughing at work about this the other day. Do you remember Jamie?
A girl or a boy?
Boy, Black Jamie from Princeton.
Yes, I remember him.
Yo.
Black motherfucker Jamie.
Yeah.
We used to joke on him a lot.
I'll tell you why I was laughing, but keep going.
Did you see him or something?
No, I'll tell you why later.
Okay.
Man, we used to make fun of him before. The same color as his table. That motherfucker was black. Anyway.
Black is beautiful.
It is. We didn't know it. we were ignorant to it at the time.
Yeah, we're very ignorant.
To us,
you guys
are. He was just
Julian's a little more light skinned.
A little bit. I was a little better than everyone else.
You gotta play up your privilege if you got it. Honestly, I try to play it up as much as I can to benefit other people. I never try to play it up to like.
Oh, we were just benefiting ourselves.
Yeah, it was a.
It's
colorism in the black community. We
I fucking know because it's like
it's a lot. No, but at the time, obviously we were just cracking jokes. But yeah, shout out to Jamie. I hope he's doing good. So what happened was CJ kept messing with Mike. For some reason.
Sat right in front of you guys.
Me and him.
I probably threw shit out of him.
Me and him had a thing. Because we were in Galaxy together. He was also in our Galaxy class.
Galaxy shout out.
Me and him were always like... It's so funny because it was like it was a love-hate relationship between me and him. Like sometimes we would be mad cool, and then sometimes we would just hate each other. I remember we had a couple issues. Like one time, like on a trip on a bus, like we were like hitting each other.
I think he also had like severe like home issues that like nobody.
Pretty sure he had.
Yeah, you could just tell. Yeah,
like I feel like nobody could tell that from me. They're like, this bitch there's something fucking wrong with her. And it was
probably got things going on.
Severe home issues that nobody addressed.
I just thought you was crazy. That was it.
So there was that, and then
she just wild.
It came to a head there. Like that's the farthest it ever went because we never really like got into it like that. So so he was like with his girl, and
always showing off.
Yeah, I guess one day he felt a little bold. He wanted to show off. And he came up to me like, I don't know, we were talking to each other and I said something slick to him. Mm. He said something slick back and then I said something slicker. Mm. And then he didn't have the proper comeback, so he wanted to come back there and like
get in your face. I think he like
intimidate me.
Yeah.
And so he's just
because he was like a little snake.
Yeah, he's like,
and I'm pretty it's his wrestling name and I can't remember what it is.
We'll show you. Yeah. So he's like so I'm sitting on the edge of this table and he's like right next to me. It's like like he's in barber position where his like dick area is like near like my shoulder.
Forearm,
so I'm like, bro, you're mad close. And I'm like, bro, can you move? He's like being slick, like, no, I'm not gonna move. I'm like, bro, like son.
Hit you with the I'm not touching you.
He's like he was doing the I'm not touching you shit. I'm like, bro, if you touch me, I'm going to put my hands on you.
That's exactly what he said.
He was like, bro, if I touch you, I'm gonna punch you in the chest.
He was like the king of fucking that.
And then it's like he's like, ha ha ha. And he like slipped and he touched me, and my left arm never moved so fucking fast. I brought it up and I fucking just like hit him with a one piece right in his fucking like shoulder, like boom. And that nigga,
all the air.
Oh yeah, I got a picture of him.
The air.
This is a fucking picture we were talking about.
He was young,
like the fucking jumpsuits on there.
Took all the air out of that young man's body.
Yeah, and I don't know where the teacher was at this time.
It was different. I don't know where.
I don't know where he was.
Probably yelling.
But I hit him with a really mean one. And he had to go to the back and like collect himself. Yeah. And all you hear is, and I'm like, damn, bro. And his girl was right there, and I didn't want to do that to him, but I was like, damn, I really emasculated this man in front of his lady. But I had to do it. He was being annoying.
She was in there.
Yeah.
Literally, the only people I remember from the class are you, Julian, and Tiffany Hill.
Yeah.
I remember
Becca was in there.
Oh, my...
Yeah, Becca. Yeah. I don't want to say the people's last name, but Becca.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people in there. I remember a good amount
of people. That was
like
the weird... And, like, I explained that shit to people, like how I didn't have to talk to my 8th grade science teacher, and they like don't. Yeah. They don't get it, but I was like,
Cara, you look like you were up to no good in this picture. Like
that trip is so.
I've always been like a fucking schemer.
That trip is so blurry to me. Like it really is.
Definitely.
I've always been a schemer.
That one's blurry.
So the reason why.
Oh yeah. So what happened with Jamie? What made
I was thinking about Jamie because obviously of everything that's going on with Iran, and I vividly remember.
Oh, you're right behind me.
Yeah.
With Jamie. Mm-hmm. And like it would be like this thing between like him and I don't want to say Reem, but this kid that we all know that we all graduated with from Afghanistan. So if I say that, yeah. Exactly. So it will be like this huge rival between them, especially because the kids from Afghanistan, majority of his friends were black. So he asked Jamie because they had like the same rival between Mike and CJ. He asked Jamie why do you think you're white or something like that?
He did.
And like
Jamie only hung out with white people.
Yeah, Jamie only hung out with white people. And Jamie,
he did
so elegantly. He was like, and he was just like. Why the fuck are your aunts and uncles killing our soldiers
Oh my.
over there because this is
Wow.
Yeah.
Like,
And I was just like, yeah, like. And that's what I was thinking about that at work.
Yo.
Jamie, what he didn't even have a comeback for that, did he?
No, he didn't. Like,
that was his comeback.
That was his comeback.
No, I'm saying the other bull. Like,
yeah, no, he couldn't. He was just like, and then like it kind of like turned into this thing where like they got each other's faces, but like they never fought. But it was just like,
it was
the fact that he said that,
and that was post 9/11, obviously.
It was.
But this
I
whole.
think we were just going to war then.
Yeah.
So
do you think? Do we think this is gonna really develop into like a war?
No, not at all.
Type situation.
No, because the other thing is that America hasn't declared war since World War II. Everything else has just been like a conflict that's been dealt with in like a different sort of way.
Yeah, because we're still in Iraq.
Yeah, we're still in other places.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we're still there.
Yeah,
we haven't declared
they shot.
war.
No, they shot at American troops that were in Iraq from Iran. So if you're looking at a map, Iran is to the right, and then Iraq's over here to the left, and then you have like Israel and like Jordan above Israel and the Mediterranean, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So I don't think anything is major. It's
I feel like it's more like a tactic just to like draw us away from like everything else that's happening.
Oh yeah, and it worked.
Well, because if you see,
you know what's so funny? Did you see what thing they were like juxtaposing, like Trump saying like talking about Obama's like.
Every tweet they pull up of him like
he's gonna attack. He's talking about Obama. He's like he's gonna attack Iran because he has nothing left. He's just gonna do this desperate thing to get elected. And then I'm like, he's doing the exact same thing. I'm like, bruh, this man is incredible.
He's a villain.
He didn't have to do that because I think he's gonna win without that.
He would have been fine.
You know what it is that like you have a lot of white friends. Like I consider myself like a cool white person. Whatever. Whatever, you guys told me that. So
I have a question about that too, but go ahead.
But like a lot of us I feel like a lot of white millennials vote just to cancel out their parents. Like I basically vote, so my dad's vote doesn't count.
That's funny you say that because the reason Trump got into office in the first place
is because white people
wanted to reverse whatever the fuck Obama did, basically. Like whatever that nigga did in office, we want it to be the opposite.
I just want to for the record, I'm part of that percentage that didn't vote for Trump.
How do you now when you heard that percentage of 53% of white women voted for Trump, were you shocked by that?
No, because if you think about like voting statistics, the way that polls are only open for a specific amount of time, and certain jurisdictions are more strict about your signature and things like that. Like you're only gonna have a poll open until 8:00. What about the restaurant workers that work from 11 a.m. or like this time to this time? Childcare situations, like a lot of people not knowing about like being able to vote like in advance, all that kind of stuff. And plus the people who, like the quintessential, you're on Bumble, you're swiping, you hit a white guy, his interests are the office, and he is apolitical. So that means that motherfucker didn't vote. How many apolitical fucking... I always swipe fucking left on those guys. If you're apolitical, that means that, one... you're not paying attention, and two, you're just like some white dude who just like doesn't give a shit.
Just existing.
Yeah, like nobody else is apolitical. And the thing is that the majority of people who do vote.
It's funny because like I wanted to count. Like they have the benefit of being able to be apolitical. Yeah,
that's the thing. It's a privilege. It's a privilege to not care because like you're
nothing's
a white
going to
dude.
affect them in the long run, no matter what happens.
And like It's fucking absurd. So, like, I feel like the reason why there's such a high percentage is because even my friends do it. My friends don't vote and whatever because it's the same. They're apolitical. Yeah. Their families had money, like, somehow. Like, they're those kind of, like, oh, well, like, I have a savings account. And I was like, oh, what's a savings account? I thought I had fucking...
Well, what's that?
Can you tell me more about that? Oh, that would be really great. I've had, like, just on my portfolio. No, like, my parents, I... grew up thinking that like I had money in the bank, but I turned 18 and my mom was like, how do you think we keep following your sports? I said, this bitch wouldn't have done any sports. I would have stayed at home if I knew I was having fucking money. Like, I feel a lot of times it's white comfortable people that don't fucking vote, or it's the people who do vote. It's never like, you always see like extremes, like the super lefties and the super righties. But the majority of Americans are moderate. Yeah. But you don't see that because the people who go out to vote and the people who are voicing their opinions the most
are always on that.
Or you get the white guy who's like, I'm fiscally conservative, but I am socially liberal. And it's like, okay, so...
Shut the fuck up, Jacob.
At the end of the day...
yeah. Well, you're fiscally conservative, so it's like, I believe that, like, people not like me deserve rights, but I don't think that I deserve to have to pay for anything. Like, that's like, anytime somebody says that. Yeah. So, like, I completely understand why those demographics are like that, and it's a lot of, like, I interact with a lot of white males, just the fact that they think that somebody else getting rights means that their rights are being taken away.
That's
what it is.
It's valuable. Like, it's not even on front. Like, this is why, nigga, we have certain people on the podcast because they got some shit to say.
Yeah.
And I think it's valuable. Now, I'm not trying to be funny. Like, I think it's valuable that you say stuff like that because we're never going to people like me, LZ, and Corey are never going to get that true, genuine, like, opinion from like a white person or even a moderate person or an extreme right person because they're not comfortable with expressing that they don't care in front of somebody who has a stake in what's going on.
Or if they do, they'll keep it on surface level. Especially because like obviously you don't know, but like obviously I went to college in Florida, a very conservative state.
Fuck Florida.
When Donald Trump came and he was doing his run, they came to Daytona. They shut our school down so that the students could go to the rally.
Yeah.
And he parked his plane on our campus, and it was like this whole thing.
And and that's so crazy because you know how, being that we grow up in that system, like growing up around that, how easy, I'm asking you, LZ and Corey, how easy, do you notice that it's real easy or you have a way of determining who somebody vote for?
Yeah,
like when you just interact with them on a day-to-day basis, people you work with, you can tell, like, oh yeah, you.
I've definitely tested people at my job to see who they voted for.
Oh, I fucked up.
People will tell you without even knowing that they're telling you. Like, put it like this, all right, so like sometimes
impeachment, and somebody you're like, oh, the impeachment, you're like, oh, do you feel good or bad about it?
Oh, it's a hoax. That lets me know.
Okay.
Or like I know like my supervisor, he's like a super conservative because every time we're in the car driving somewhere, it's on the radio, super conservative radio.
I don't even think like that. Just like shit, regular shit they say like. When they don't want to talk about politics, when they want to avoid politics altogether,
don't want to talk about politics. It's always the people that aren't affected by politics that don't want to fucking talk about it.
This is the easiest thing. Bring up, and it's gonna sound crazy. Bring up Colin Kaepernick and what they think.
Yeah,
that'll let you know everything.
If you're not standing up for the flag,
tell that motherfucker to stand up.
And then when you think about like what they're like, nobody. It's a lot of people just like. I feel like it's a white thing, but it's a very white male thing to be offended by everything that like it doesn't affect you or like somebody else is getting rights, so that means like mine are being taken away. Like I wrote my thesis. I wrote my like college thesis on marriage equality, saying that like the Supreme Court was going to end up ruling that it would be legal. But I did an analysis about like the adoption rules and like showing that's like it ended up showing that there was a correlation between the state's like strictness in their marriage equality laws and their adoption laws. So like that they would go to other avenues, and you saw that after it became legal that like they were trying to like not have people adopt. Yeah. And it's just like, how the fuck is that affecting you? Like if a child, like have you seen the statistics of a child in foster care versus a child being in a caring home? Yeah, there's never, like there's going to be people who always get the short end of the stick. There's people who are going to fall through the cracks and all that. But wouldn't you rather somebody they would have like actual parents? So what if it's 2 guys or 2 girls? Than being in a fucking basically prison area where they do with a lot of men or like young men who are like 16 years old, and a lot of them there's white guys, there's Spanish guys, there's black guys, all that, but they're being like already put into this prison sort of situation, and it's like that funnel that goes into the rest of it.
Yep.
Like you ever see like 13th and like all that kind of stuff where it goes into, it's the systematic stuff that white people don't think about because they've never been affected by it.
Or they just don't care about because they're not affected.
But I also think that people get like a misconception that if you don't care, you're racist. I also think that that's not true. That just means that you don't care.
Yeah, I'm 50-50 on
that. 50-50 on
but
that.
I feel like if you don't care, it's because like you should. I feel like you should care anyway. Like it doesn't. You have to care because it's the same sort of thing. You know that poem about like the Holocaust and everything. First they came for these people and I didn't protest. And then they came for these people and I didn't protest. And then they came for me and there was nobody else. So I feel like it's that sort of mentality that.
Who said that?
It might be like Elie Wiesel or like the guy who wrote Night. It's like it's that sort of mentality where like, yeah, you can do everything to these other people, but till it directly affects me, then I care. But when it directly affects me, like if I'm a white male, it directly affects me. Everyone's already fucked and I have nobody else. Like I just already fucked myself. Yeah. Like the entire premise of like, have you guys seen The Handmaid's Tale?
No, I heard about it. I need to watch it. Though.
Yeah. It's the kind of thing you can't be like stoned or drunk at all to watch. You need to like actually watch it. It's really scary because it directly shows like it's like kind of imposing those extreme like conservative values onto a society, and then it's not working out, and then like it's fucking crazy.
And I think along with that mentality, when you don't care, I think ultimately it's like when you just have that idea when you don't care, you're not helping.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that just because you're not helping something doesn't make you in the category.
Yeah, but you're not.
What are you then?
Yeah, but if you're not helping, then you're just a bystander. It's that same sort of effect.
You're pretty much hurting.
All right, so I'm gonna say this, all right? All right, so my boss from one of my old jobs, this is when Cap first started kneeling, right? He was explaining to me that he doesn't care because he's like, I have to go to work Monday.
I'm not trying to hear
that.
The other thing, you can say that.
No, the other thing is that people don't think
I gotta
about
go to
their
work
local
too.
politics.
But you know what you don't gotta do? You don't gotta deal with the extra shit I gotta deal with when I also have to go to work.
He's kneeling.
That is true, but that's also a part of me not caring. But just because I don't care.
Yeah, but that sort of complacency is what like sets into place other things. Yeah. And the other thing is that people, it's okay to not care about national politics because the majority of the stuff that's going to affect you is your local ordinances and stuff. Yeah. And nobody's going to those local meetings because it's the same thing. It doesn't really affect you. But that stuff become like people get mad about like bans about plastic bags. But you never went to any of those meetings that had to deal with plastic bags being banned. And, like, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And I feel like it goes, I don't know, there's, like, with politics, too, it's not just, I feel like a lot of it's race separated, first of all.
Well, they do that intentionally.
Then it's also, like, an economic, like, a poor black person and a poor white person are going to be both treated very shitty compared to like a rich black person or a rich white person. Yeah, but there's that, and like
you have rich white people that will manipulate that poor white person to make them think that the reason that
totally about like politics. But I'm saying like people are like both put in like the same sort of situation, and then I feel like there's another aspect. So it's like there's your politics. There's the amount of money you make, and there's also your religion. So have you noticed that, like, a lot of communities that are super religious, like some black communities and, like, some, like, Hasidic Jewish communities and some Hispanic communities, like, that are fundamentally, like, homophobic and those sort of things. Yeah. And, like, so there's a lot of people who are more conservative in like that social aspect, so they're going to vote Republican just because they feel about like the abortions and like that kind of stuff, but not about the other kind of things.
They'll protect like the one issue, knowing that you're fucking yourself on a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
Because you feel so strongly about
like your religious.
Because you just said that the poor white people and poor black people are in the same boat, but if you look at poor white
I mean, you separate it more. Obviously, the poor black people are going to be like whatever, but like there's always going to be like the class distribution. There's always going to be the color distribution, like the race, and there's also going to be the religious aspect that gets added into it, where you're like, why is a poor Hispanic woman going to vote more conservative it's because they're voting their religion and not towards the other stuff.
Yeah.
So there's also like those added like impacts.
Because like if you look at poor white people predominantly vote what?
Republican.
You have Republicans.
Yeah, and then you have black people. Not even saying poor black people, just black people.
Most black people.
Yeah, most black people vote Democrat.
Unless they're like very conservative, like and they're very religious, and then they go
But you
towards
notice
that
a lot of there, like, and Trump has a lot of Hispanic supporters.
Yeah, because they
Why?
go into it's basically that like when they it depends what issue you're actually looking at.
It does, but
If
like
you're
a lot of people do that. Is like if you want to look at it on the surface, a lot of people vote for Trump who are minorities. They're trying to be a part of something that they're really not a part of.
It's not realistic.
Hey,
I'm selling dreams.
Because like those same people that like for instance, I thought this was the other day. It was an interracial couple, and they had like they had on the back a hat, black dude, and he says, well, I've never seen racism, or I've never seen white power.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But it's just like at the same time, I said, all right, that's cool, but would you hold your wife's hand during that little riot in Charleston?
Yeah.
You wouldn't do that.
No.
Those are all Trump supporters. Everyone there, including y'all. You wouldn't dare hold your wife's hand.
See, I don't understand. I mean,
People are like they say they're able to make like that
I think it's separated.
like the separation between like, oh, he's a Republican and I'm a Democrat and we can like get over it. No, I went on like one date with a dude and I was like, oh, sorry, I'm on my phone. It's just like my friend's checking up on me. It's like a safety thing. It was like, oh, sorry, I'm on my phone because it's like this was the day of the impeachment. He was like, my family group chat's blowing up, and I was like, it was like about the impeachment. I was like, are they happy?
Yeah.
It was a white dude. So it was a white dude. So I'm like, are they happy or are they upset? And he was like, they think it's stupid. I was like,
check please.
He was like, well, I'm from Nebraska. Like, I'm apolitical. And I was like,
like, nigga, fuck off.
You guys are farmers. He's not doing anything to help you.
He's not about to give you more.
He actually fucked the farmers. That's why he had to bail him out.
He's not about to make you more corn, piece of shit.
you know, the amount of subsidies that farmers get every year, like, first of all, is fucking insane. And if you followed any, like, socialist movements that started from, like Southern American people, like, coming in and, like, trying to get, like, rights for everyone, like, everything's fucked. Everything is fucked.
Of course. That's just the theme of America.
Yeah. Everything is fucked.
And the land of the free, and everything is fucked.
Yeah, you hate to see it.
I have a question for you, Cara. When did you notice? Yeah. Yes.
That was really what we were.
When did you notice okay, felt like you made that transition into being like aware of like social like
and the
stuff?
reason I asked this is because I don't mean to cut you off, was because like we all grew up together from like
you guys haven't. I feel like I've always been the same. I got least changed in high school.
No, but it's just like you don't really like when you're growing up. You obviously you go to school with white people or black, but you don't really know their opinion on things until like
I feel like you always knew
until
my
the
opinion.
police brutality shit started to happen.
That's when
you separate.
That's when I separated.
But I thought you guys always knew my.
I'm not saying that we. No. Well,
when did I realize that I had a political opinion? Is that
political opinion, or you notice like okay,
that's not right.
There's a separate. Yeah, like this isn't right. The way this is set up isn't right, and I don't like this.
My first best friend ever was a black guy. You guys followed my trip cross country. I went to Grand Canyon.
I remember it.
I went to the Grand Canyon. It's me and my roommate, and she's like smaller than me, or like she's blonde. I'm like redhead. I'm a tall person, but Edmund's like 6'5". He used to be a long jumper for ASU, but he's like one of my favorite people in the whole fucking world. So he grew up a couple houses down from Tiffany, like before Tiffany moved there.
Okay.
But he moved in like kindergarten. But we had stayed in touch through like MySpace and that kind of stuff. And he was my first best friend. Mm-hmm. Like if he probably still lived here, we probably would have like gotten married or some shit. Like
where do you live now?
He still lives in Arizona, so like when I was going cross country, like I posted something just to be like, "Hey, I'm going cross country. I don't have any tips. or anything. And some people are like, hey, come visit me. Or like I reached out to people. And he still was living in Arizona. And I was like, I really want to go to the Grand Canyon. Because at first it was just going to be by myself. And he's like, oh, no, I'll meet you there. I'm trying to find the pictures now. Like ran into him. And I realized like, I just kind of grew up, even though my parents, I consider them both to be Republican, even though my mom's never specified. Definitely, like, more Republican things, but I also feel like being kind of like an outcast, being like the weirdo, being the Jewish person, even though my family's not even really Jewish, and that's like a weird fucking thing anyway. I just like being kind of like the outcast, and like the white people didn't like me, and like whatever, and both my parents are really conservative, like grew up watching like Fox News bullshit. But my dad's family is like very matriarchal, very like we went to like the women's walk together, the Viva La Vulva, like everyone like that's who I was visiting today, like my aunt who does domestic violence nonprofit work. So is my sister-in-law, like all that kind of stuff. I just feel like I kind of like I never really fit in, and the people who like cared about me were like the not white people too. I don't know. I just like I feel like it's always just been a thing for me, just like treating everybody like the same. And then once I realized that I could be treated differently than people, because you guys obviously knew that, like I can do whatever the fuck I wanted. I realized that very young. Taking advantage of that and able to like make change about it, and just like from a young age, just realizing that like people are going to be fucking treated just like differently. Like,
so the reason we asked that question is because, like Corey said, we all grew up in the same same community. In our community, we have the benefit of being really honestly more diverse than most.
Oh, literally, we have one of the most diverse school districts in the entire country.
Yeah,
and I always talk about that.
It
like,
is crazy.
People around us, like other townships, they make fun of us because we're so diverse.
Yeah, because it's literally like people were like.
Especially like the towns like Northern Burlington that are the very white towns, or like you have Willingboro right next to us is very black, and then like so like I've always
we're like in a mob between Willingboro's real black, or like Northern Burlington and Florence real white.
Yeah, but we were like so like I'm so grateful for that, like especially going to Monmouth, where like I could have just been like a white person who just like was a white person my entire life and never had to like deal with anything else, but we literally
there's nothing more horrible.
Nothing more horrible.
No, because like I mean maybe it's just because I am the way I am. Like, fuck that. Like, I would have never wanted just to be, like, in one kind of, like, insular community. Yeah. We were so lucky to, like... Yeah, some communities just have white and black people, but, like, we had Spanish people. We had, like, Eastern Asian people. We had Southern Asian people. We had literally everything. Because I was such a weirdo and had so much, like... shit that happened to me like as a kid, home personal shit, that's why I'm like so mentally like fucking out there now, and like that's why I was always insane all the time. But that's why I was able to, I feel like, connect with all different people, because if you just like get people on different levels and just like understand them, and I feel like a lot of people don't try to do that, and it's like they try to stay insular to their community, but they don't realize it because they're just comfortable. But like I got kicked out of
even when,
the white people. Like I basically got kicked out of the white people for being like a fucking weirdo, and then I was like,
you can't say
deception.
They were like, you're
disgrace.
Yeah, like fuck that.
We got the white people out of your place.
Can you sing me a little Georgia on my mind?
Yo, stop!
Yeah, I would die for you. I literally can't hear that fucking song without thinking about like Mike going Georgia.
I don't know how. I
did it.
I was fucking.
Yeah, you were fucking killed. I dressed up as George Washington that day. I dressed up as a full ass man.
And I just went in there in my sweats, and I did a fucking bullshit singing. I'm not doing that shit right now. We'll do it off camera. I'm not doing that shit.
I literally can't hear the song Georgia.
I don't know. I think we were doing like some things like
it was a 50 states pageant,
yes,
and he had Georgia, and this motherfucker comes up to the stage like Georgia,
just sing Georgia on my mama. And you know I was bullshitting, so I'm like,
yeah, but I like his version better than fucking Ray Charles' version.
Because I just came in with a Georgia. I like his classic ass. Hokey ass, Negro spiritual ass voice.
Negro spiritual.
I literally, like, I'll be high as shit. I'll like randomly tweet you, and I'll be like, Just listen to that song. It's like 4 a.m. I'm like, just listen to that song. It's not of you. And he's like, okay.
Trust me, he's asleep.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so long story short, I feel like I've always been a fucking weirdo, and I've just always paid attention. I feel like I've never had the correct social cues, or like I've always been a fucking weirdo. So I feel like when you're not in that bubble of like cool, perfect, white, whatever, then you're on the outside, and then you're able to connect with other people, and then like not.
See, that's the thing. Like we were saying, like we had the benefit of being in a diverse community where you kind of got a little bit of an understanding, even if people who try to segregate themselves by hanging with just black people, you still got that because you're in school and you're forced socializing in school, right?
Yeah.
Now, and I think that's a good thing, but that was also a bad thing is that you don't see some of the negative things that come with that. And I didn't notice that. And most of us in our, like, I know our friend group didn't notice that until we went off to college and we weren't in that group, and like we weren't in that setting with each other.
Yeah.
So I know when like the Trayvon Martin thing happened.
Oh, and then you see like
that's when I first started seeing like, oh wow, and I started seeing some of the bullshit people post.
Well, because it was like white people just being nice because you were in like the same space.
I think that, and again, when you're realizing that's what it is.
As soon as shit went down,
I
was like, whoa.
Oh, this is how you
think.
This is how you really think.
We was cool. Like
yo, I used to.
Well, because it's not you. It's not. No, I'm saying it from their perspective. It's not you. It's like that bad guy that's far away, and they posted like his like mugshot, and he did look older. He didn't look like a 12-year-old little boy, and he wasn't running away, and this wasn't, and this and that.
That's
and everyone always has excuses, and it's always like, well, he was doing something wrong in the first place, so what did you expect? But how many times have all of you guys have known white people that we went to high school with who got out on fucking people that got on so many charges, like shoplifting. I can name a specific incident where the black guy got the blame for everything because the white people were like, I didn't hit it, or like, fucking whatever. And like, anyway, fuck them. I'm just too honest.
Anyway,
I'd be like,
fuck them. Yeah.
And then like, so we saw like that's when you catch glimpses of how people really think.
Yeah, because you don't understand what happens in their actual homes. They're nice to you. Like they're nice to you to your face.
You're nice. They're nice to your face. They let you come in. They let you come visit sometimes, and then you realize like, yo,
hey, why would you want to go to a white home and have some fucking unseasoned ass chicken?
You know, I had peanut butter and jelly, so they couldn't fuck that up.
They could though. Was it chunky or not?
Chunky peanut butter is not bad.
Okay, chunky peanut butter is best, and as long as you're peanut buttering both sides, so the jelly doesn't seep through.
I ain't never heard no shit like that.
Ew, have you ever had a wrapped up peanut butter and jelly where like your mom only well, first of all, my mom never made me sandwiches, mostly just me. But you peanut butter both sides, because if you like wrap a sandwich to eat 4 hours later, the jelly is going through your bread.
That is true.
And fuck that. I'd rather have peanut butter on both sides, jelly insulated. I want my bread.
Okay.
Was this fucking Pinterest?
No, she just put me on.
No, because the jelly do be seeping through the other
fucking
side.
seeping jelly. I don't want some soggy ass bread.
Jelly gets nasty. That's true. But damn, you about to have hello peanut butter.
Yeah.
Fucking
better get a couple cartons of milk.
All right, anyway.
But yeah, so like just noticing that is when you like it kind of that was that first shock and I was like, oh yeah, how people think it's not really how they've been. But like, oh, you're not really, you know.
It shook the fuck out of us, like you said. Because
but white people don't realize that. That's the other thing. Like none of your like
so it's
quote unquote white friends realize it.
It's always interesting for me that when I know white people who are like abreast or aware of what's going on or how things work or how other people are affected. I have a black Twitter.
And you know why I have a black Twitter? Because you motherfuckers.
Well, you haven't blocked me yet.
It's literally like
you haven't. This is why I know Cara's good because she hasn't blocked me yet. I know a couple white people that I went to school with have blocked me on Instagram and have commented. You shouldn't say that.
Okay,
I'm like, okay,
fuck off. You can say whatever you want. This is America. If you're gonna play your rights, I'll play my rights. No, but like also like I realize that the majority of people that I follow and the people that I care about are like dudes from our hometown. Or like, and girls from our hometown, not white people that are saying their fucking minds and like that kind of stuff. And I realize there's so much shit that I can't retweet on Twitter because it has the N-word in it, and I don't want anyone getting the wrong thing. But I had a black roommate. She's like from She's from South Sudan. Like, her family, like, immigrated here. And she told me one night, she was like, you know, I have a black Twitter, right? I was like, what do you mean?
Now I gotta pay attention to your Twitter
I've
more.
seen your Twitter, but I haven't seen it in a
She was,
long
like,
time.
saying about, like, the shit that I retweet, and I was like...
It's culture. You got seasoned.
Yeah, well, she was just like, you know, you have a black Twitter. She's like, I see the shit that, like, you retweet, and I don't think it's from you sometimes. Like,
like who the fuck said? Oh, Cara.
Oh, this is Cara. Oh, shit.
I'll
Cara's retweet next stallion video.
I'll retweet anything that doesn't have, like, the N-word, because I don't want people thinking that, like, I'm using that word.
You know what?
Keep it up.
Here's how I feel about that. If you retweet something that has nigga in it,
well, I
didn't
don't
say it.
Yeah,
so
you didn't say
yeah,
it.
but I still
like some people are overly sensitive, obviously.
Well,
But I respect you for being that safe.
Yeah, I respect that.
I just like don't want to have like that to be
You don't
a
want it to come back.
thing. Yeah. So
Respect it.
but I realize that it's because I follow like you guys. I follow like a handful of other like people from home that are like not white people, and because they're the ones who have fucking shit to say. Like, what are the white people saying? Like,
Donnie's not. What do white people say on Twitter?
My white friends.
Yeah, exactly. Twitter's not fucking lit.
They don't say anything. They just retweet sports shit.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's it.
I've never really like.
Good. White Twitter's dry as shit. Imagine a sandwich with nothing. It's just like meat and bread.
Just bread.
It's like, bro, man, a wish sandwich.
Wish I had me some
meat to go up on it.
Yeah.
That's
because like
never ventured into it.
because I feel like stuff affects your like you guys more, so like you're gonna care about it. Yeah. Like what you're saying about like the percentage of white women who voted for Trump. Yeah, they're gonna repost that fucking stupid ass bullshit, but nobody has anything actually to say. The amount of, like, I used to volunteer with did like an internship with an immigration law firm. Have you ever fucking read an immigration law?
No.
No. Yeah, none of you motherfuckers have read an immigration law. You know what? Because you know what? It's long as shit. It's tedious. It is definitely like Trump's talking about like his wife's an immigrant. That motherfucker's white. Like, yeah, she's an immigrant, but like we've always preferenced white immigrants. Like people try to talk about like the plight of the Irish immigrants and all that kind of shit. Yeah, a lot of bad shit happened to them.
A lot of bad shit happened to Irish people, but they were still white. So
they're still white people, so it's not going to be the extent that everything else is happening. It's not this systematic thing that's happening to everybody else.
I've heard Irish people. I took an Irish history class.
Yeah, you ever have like an old boomer like you ever? Oh, and black people? You ever seen what them did to them Irish?
See what they did to the Irish? Did you know what they did to my grandfather?
Yeah, you know
they took his shillelagh.
Yeah, but it's like
there was a potato famine. And it was bad. Nobody's saying it.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
It was fucked up. But
it's
like,
a thing
you can't compare.
Yeah,
and it's not a competition.
Yeah, it's like I can be sad, but like no, I have to be the saddest. Like you can't be sad at all.
That's not how anything works.
No,
I have to validate your struggle because I struggled. Like,
exactly. Which like totally like people coming into America didn't get treated properly, but also like how many of your white immigrants, parents, grandparents came in illegally? You have no fucking idea because that shit wasn't kept like how it is now. Like I worked for an immigration law firm, reading those immigration laws and like the statuses that you have to reach in order to like be let into certain places is like so fucked.
It's crazy now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would agree with that because like just the fact the paperwork that you have to have and the different things you got to keep is just ridiculous.
The test themselves.
So because like I work.
So many motherfuckers don't know shit.
There's a lot of people in America who wouldn't pass the immigration test that they have for these people. It's just not fair. So
literally, the chef at my job became a U.S. citizen like this summer. He was so happy. He brought in like his certificate and everything. He fucking owns multiple properties. He doesn't have to work at the restaurant, but he does. And we have motherfuckers coming into the restaurant talk about their Trump bullshit. And every time they do, I just wanted to say to them, this is an Italian restaurant, but you are eating Mexican food that is Italian flavored. So please be respectful. But I can't say that. I can't fucking say that shit. But like that. Yeah. Oh, the food is. The food is fucking incredible, and like half the time I don't even ask for food, and they like pull it up, just like dinging on the bell, like they're yelling my name, and I'm like, whoa. I'm thinking I'm gonna get in trouble, like, oh no, here's some food for you. But like you tell like your fucking conservative ass population that's coming in and spending money, like, oh, it's you can't see it's all fucking Mexicans like cooking your food, but you're still gonna say that kind of bullshit.
Yeah, you can see it.
All right. Well, let's. All right. Do you want to talk a little sports for a couple minutes?
Whatever you guys want to talk about. Ask me any questions.
All right. So let's get into the sports bag for a couple minutes. Guys, football is over for us.
Oh, the Eagles, because the Eagles fucking suck. Fuck your Dallas Cowboys.
Oh.
Are you a Giants fan?
This is the first season what Carson Wentz has been healthy, and you guys thought it was gonna be your best season yet, and.
I feel like you got all that just from all of us.
Okay.
Oh no, I can talk a lot of shit about like sports and stuff.
Let's do that.
I'm not like
because I'm saying like if I don't, because like obviously I work 7 days a week, so I don't watch like the 1 o'clock games. But I just have to follow him on Twitter
to know what's going on.
I don't have to look at the score. I just
you'll know if it's good or bad.
Yeah.
Because all right, so
especially with like the big penalties, he's really good at that.
Well, I feel like a lot of people are very like they're very newsy on like Twitter and stuff, but I'm just saying like in general.
What'd you say, kid?
Fucking kidding me, it's not a pass interference.
Yeah,
no,
see that tweet
because it's never a pass interference.
Wait, no.
It's at least
Especially on Ronald Darby.
Nah, it was the Barnett penalty.
Oh, he's a fucking moron.
Derek Barnett,
fucking idiot.
I know he's listening.
I think it's so dumb. If you're listening, Derek Barnett, you fucking moron. Like, what do you have? Like, yo, is the CTE affected you that early? You haven't been in the league that long. You shouldn't have that much CTE, bro. You have 4 brains. Like,
speaking of that,
stop hitting the goddamn quarterback.
All right,
so
first of
much,
all,
nigga.
CTE is a very serious thing. You guys really have to watch the Aaron Hernandez fucking.
Is it out already?
Yeah,
the 15. But you have to listen to the podcast too, because it talks about a lot of other people, like
Antonio
Brown.
100%. Yeah. Well, also like
that nigga got CTE records.
Well, no, there's also like that guy that was a wrestler that killed his entire family.
Chris Benoit. Oh, he got the ETC.
He had the element.
He got etc.
Yeah, he had that because it was a bad.
That nigga had that.
Yeah, but they also but you also just like think about that kind of shit. Like I'm also I'm a documentary fiend.
Yeah. Y'all hear that nigga's theme music?
It's like 4 a.m. just like me.
His theme music is
you can't play.
His theme music is real like.
No, you can't play. It's gonna be a fucking copy.
It's real Murder My Family.
It is. It really was.
Like as soon as he comes.
Okay, that's just like white. That's like white. Like
that's his music. Like I can hear the knife sharpening right now.
Yeah, but you know what they're talking about?
Did it? I was like, oh, God, I clutched my pearls. I was like, oh shit.
Do you guys remember when it actually fucking happened?
Yes.
Yeah,
because you guys
the
were
WWE, like everything else.
Yeah.
Because this is how I know it was some shit.
You were young when it
I remember it because I used to watch wrestling.
Oh, you're a fucking loser.
First of all, Kane and Undertaker are brothers. I don't give a fuck what you say.
They're still brothers to this day. You know, Kane is like Kane's like a mayor in like South Carolina and some shit.
Yeah.
It's so wild.
It's like North Dakota.
Yeah, some wild shit.
Yeah, it's like Iowa.
But anyway, so it was a storyline that was going on.
Potatoes in Idaho.
When it happened, like it was a storyline going on in the show where McMahon like dies. Mm-hmm. Where like in the day before, like it was at the end of the show,
like the fake ass wrestling.
Yeah, like the fake ass, like it like made it look like he died in the car. But it was so crazy because that happened with Chris Benoit. The next day on the show, he comes out I'm like, yo, what are you doing here? I just saw you burn up in a car and die. Yeah. He was like, yo, he like really, he broke character. He was like, yo, it's a tragedy. Chris Benoit, like it was that, yeah.
You're talking about like when I realized that I was like political or like understood other shit. Like, I'm very sorry to admit this. I used to watch Fox News Daily. I'm sorry. Well, because my dad used to watch that, so like I got into politics. 2nd grade. So that's like 2000 was the first time like I remember watching like the election and everything with all my dad's like Republican bullshit. But I still woke up and was like, but he won the majority. And my parents had to explain to me like the Electoral College. But like, no, I'm talking about like 2nd grade was Gore.
Yeah. Bush.
Gore and Bush.
Gore and Bush.
When
Yeah, but,
they,
like,
the
that
Florida
was-
thing?
Yeah. So, like, I woke up, because I watched it. My parents will let me stay up late because, like, I have so many health issues that, like, when I knock the fuck out, I knock the fuck out because I don't sleep well through the night. I have a lot of, like, sinus issues and shit. But they would, like, let me stay up to watch that, and I remember watching it, and then, like, that came out, and I was like, what do you mean? Like,
No, it's just adding up.
well, it's, like, won by the majority, but there's the Electoral College, all that kind of shit. So, like, I've been in it since, 2000? Paying attention to all that shit. Like, I live for...
Much politics in general.
Yeah, I mean, I went to school and got a degree in politics just to watch everyone argue on Twitter and just be, like, angry, and I'll just be like... I could be like... Actually, to play devil's advocate.
Actually.
To play devil's
You
advocate.
going
To play devil's advocate, we
You
can,
going
like,
to Twitter
talk
one day
about
like,
it.
actually, my nigga.
Yeah,
Start
so...
pop.
I don't know.
So, Cara, do you have any team allegiances? Like,
Team allegiance?
like who you like? Do you root for anybody? Like in sports?
In sports. So, no. Because, I mean, like...
Philly sports?
No, I don't hate Philly sports. I told you guys. Maybe this is before we started recording. So, I know a lot of things about a lot of stuff. I'm able to talk shit, any sport, any whatever. I enjoy doing that. Something that makes me happy is getting, like, grown men worked up about stuff that really doesn't matter. So if I could tell you about the number of times I've gotten grown men worked up at sporting events just because I was like, actually,
You
you're
just go to a
like...
Giants game like, Eli's not even a Hall of Famer. They're like,
We need that.
Well, I mean, like, technically I was raised, my dad's a Rams fan.
What?
My dad was born in California.
Oh, Rams fan. Okay.
Chill. My dad was born in California, and then
Okay,
they were like
Rams.
all LA, and then they were all St. Louis, and then whatever went back to
They
LA.
did used to be in LA first.
Yeah, I mean, like, he was born in Northern California, but, like, I always just told people, oh, my dad's a Rams fan.
Yeah.
My mom, Giants fan. My dad is a Dodgers fan just from that, even though he's from, like, the Bay Area, whatever. And my mom's, like, a Yankees fan, has, like, this dope-ass, like, vintage, like, 80s, like, silk jacket. But my favorite thing, as you guys know, is just, like, fucking arguing with people. So if I'm going to
Yeah, because you started out hot with the Wentz thing. So
the Wentz thing.
I was like,
right in the heart.
Yeah, I was like,
I was ready.
Yeah, so, like, I go to, like, fucking sporting events. Like, I know my friends are primarily, like, Phillies Mets fans. So if I'm going to a Phillies Mets game,
go there with a Yankees hat just to fuck with
oh, Yankees LA.
Yeah.
Just to, like, piss people off
just
more.
to, you're one of those.
Oh, yeah. Or if I'm going to, like, a football game. I haven't been to a, like, professional one, but I've been to, like, a lot of Temple games to, like, TJ and seeing, like, what's his name? He grew up down the street from me.
Play for Temple?
Yeah.
What, Amy?
No. I fucking know Wanami.
You live by Tiffany?
What?
You live by Tiffany?
Yeah.
Marcus?
No, his mom died from
Marcus
breast
before?
cancer. He plays in the NFL right now.
Who, Kadar?
No.
He didn't go to
Nah, his
Temple.
mom. Don't say his mom.
No. He played
his mom
for
is
like
down
a
the
junior
street.
college. He plays for like the Chargers right now. Fuck, what's his name?
Oh.
Yeah. You know who I'm talking about. I can't remember. He's my brother's age. He's like my oldest brother's age.
She's talking about Rod, yeah.
Rod Streeter. Yeah, Rod Streeter's mom died from like breast cancer, but like he grew up on my street. Like we all
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, because Rod.
like a couple years ago, yeah.
Temple.
But he went to junior college, then he went to Temple. So like I saw him play there and stuff. But I'm good enough to like I know enough to talk shit.
Yeah, but you're not like
I'm not
you're not
diehard.
like 100% in. Like
I'll be 100% into whatever you want me to be in, but like I will talk shit until I die.
Okay.
Because you know what? Nothing is more funny than watching like grown men get so worked up.
I just want to cover a couple things.
Okay.
All right, so let's just start with it. Do we think that Jadavian Clowney hit was dirty?
Not anymore.
I think it was.
Why not anymore?
Well, because at first I did, because I was like, what are you doing? But, like, when you look at it in, like, fast motion and him running full speed, and, like, Carson Wentz, throughout the whole play, he never gave himself up. He got hit and then it was falling forward. That's why, like, that's the whole.
Oh, I feel like a lot of sports
doesn't.
accidents are just like completely different. Like I literally broke my face in high school playing soccer, and it was like, you don't remember that, dude? Junior year, so I played like offense for township, but
You play soccer, right?
yeah, well I played soccer, bowling, and softball.
Played bowling.
I have varsity letter in bowling and in marching band, so like fuck me.
Go around with 5 rings on, just like.
We were 6th in the state in bowling.
Who do you think you are? I am.
You think you are? I am.
Yeah, I fucking do whatever. So like, soccer, I played like goalie like when we were young, got in like a good team or whatever, but I didn't want to play goalie all the time. Both our goalies got hurt, so I played in a game. Somebody went out for it was like 20 minutes into a half. Somebody went out. It was a breakaway. I'm not letting that fucking bitch score. So I dove out for the ball.
Scott Sterling.
I know.
Yeah, he was Scott Sterling.
You ever seen Scott Sterling?
You never seen that video?
Yeah,
He just kept saving the ball with his face.
Well, no, it wasn't exactly like that. So it was like she went out, like it was like a breakaway. I dove for the ball.
Yeah.
I got the ball out of the way, but it happened so quickly. But so like we know this stuff happened because of my injuries, but like it happened in like a split second. It was like a
the ball
that
hit
kind
your
of
face
thing.
or her foot?
Oh no, that bitch like planted her foot in my hand, broke his knuckles clean off, kicked me in the face because she thought my face was the ball. But you guys didn't know that? It was,
No.
like, here.
No.
So like it happened so quickly. It was the same time like Andrew Beebe broke his face. So we got like he broke his nose.
Yeah.
But like I broke my cheekbone and my nose. So like he was able to get like the protection on his cheekbones.
Yeah.
But I broke my cheekbones, so I couldn't. So I was like I just couldn't get hit for another 3 weeks.
Ooh.
But it happened so quickly that nobody noticed.
Yeah.
And it was just like I wasn't gonna let her fucking score.
So you just
So then I played another 20 minutes and a half. My eye was pouring tears, and Stone is yelling at me, asking me why I'm crying, and I'm like, I'm not crying, and she's like, you are, and I'm
my
like,
face is leaking.
and I was like, I'm not crying, and then like they had already had studs over there, and I pulled off my glove, my hands like up to here, and they're like, that's not broken, and nobody wanted to tell a 16-year-old girl that her face looked weird, so my mom, like while we're at the hospital, was like, please, just like, can you just like CAT scan her face? Like,
BT Dub.
like she just
BT Dubs, her face is fucked.
They're like,
scan her mouth.
they're like, she thinks she looks fine, but like she's fucked
So
up.
they're like, I think it was dirty because.
Oh yeah.
Which Damien Glenn. I think it was dirty because nobody tackles with the top of their head. And there's just no way to defend that. Even if he
speared him, but it's not.
Yeah,
like,
that's
a lot of people.
That's
like,
targeting.
A lot of people are. Well, it's not targeting.
How is it not tackling somebody with the top of your head?
He didn't hit him, but he first his shoulder hit first.
If your head is down,
nah, nigga.
That's it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people were like looking for him to get kicked out of the game. Like what he did wasn't illegal. That's not an illegal
hit.
hit.
15 yards.
No, it shouldn't have been anything. You didn't give yourself up. That's what I'm saying.
What?
Anybody like that?
So if that's not giving. So basically, if that's
Like,
not.
people,
If
like,
that's not.
like,
If that's not giving yourself up, then that shit when he got hurt in the Rams game or the Falcons or whatever, they said he was giving himself up then. He was doing the same shit. So what? So now we gotta know what's giving yourself up and what's not.
When you slide, that's what I'm saying. First of all, people understand the play.
So that's also a problem.
It was a screen.
So that's also a problem because he's got tackled already. He's going down.
He's going down. Yeah, but
he's been tackled. It's done. Why do you have to do that?
It wasn't done because he wasn't on the ground yet.
What the fuck is that nigga gonna float and meditate and fucking Dawson his way up?
That's the whole purpose of giving yourself up, so you avoid that.
Yeah, he should have slid.
So
that's what I'm saying.
it's his fault that this nigga took his head and banged it into his head. That's the shit I don't get. Well, he needs to learn how to slide. You need to teach people not to hit like that.
Why? It's not illegal.
Okay, first of all, that's the same thing with like sexual assault when they're like, you gotta teach people not to sexually assault people.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's literally like telling Carson Wentz not to go out with a short skirt. That's literally what you're talking.
Maybe you shouldn't have worn
what
it.
was Carson wearing? Maybe he wanted to get fucked. No, he didn't want to get fucked. He didn't want that.
He didn't want it. Just because he didn't give himself up doesn't mean he should got
I'm not trying to hear that shit, bro.
speared.
No, I have it up here. So, like,
Okay,
again,
but you have it up there.
yeah,
What about
but
here?
it's not there yet. That's what I'm saying. It was a
Okay, so it's
screenplay.
like-
The screenplay got blown up. He tried to run, and like here.
I feel like all certain sports. I literally broke my face playing sports, so I'm like,
No,
whatever.
This shit ain't fair. 'Cause
This
my
shit
man's-
ain't fair.
My man's definitely has a concussion. They didn't even say concussion. They
Wait,
just
he
said
even hit his
head
head on the
injury.
ground. How the fuck did
He
he
hit
You
his
still, like,
face on the
if your
ground.
head gets fucked.
Nah, he hit his head,
like slam?
and then like his head bounced off the ground.
Oh, your
again.
head bounces.
So,
Anywhere.
I mean, your brain's fucking doing the ping pong in that bitch.
Yeah.
Nah, he speared him. Nah, he speared him.
Yeah.
But like, but again, like you.
But-
He
What's
should've-
the
He
argument?
should have went and rapped. He shouldn't have put his
Hit man, all he had to do was
This is
push
the hit
it with his
right
arm.
here.
He's Jadavian Clown.
Yeah.
He's going down already. What do you?
You're a fucking D lineman. One of the best.
down when he did some
Dirty.
shit.
Yeah, like what are you doing, dick face?
But it's the Eagles, so like, fuck.
What are you? The Cowboys?
What?
Okay, first of all, I don't think that's dirty.
It's not. That what? It technically, it's like all right. It's like
No, because that's in the process of the play.
it is, but like, and he
how
didn't break
are you-
any
how are you
rules.
supposed to
That's
do
why
that?
That's why
Because
like they're not, they
he's-
can't suspend him.
That's fine. If he wasn't doing it with the top of his head pointing towards the ground, I
But
wouldn't
his
have an
shoulder
issue.
hit first. Though.
I don't give a fuck.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Let me see. Let's show me where his
I
shoulder
feel
is
like it looks
first.
fine.
Because I
Yeah,
don't
that's
see
what
that
his
shit
shoulder hit.
anyway.
his shoulder hit first, and then his head.
Can we show this clip like at the bottom of our screen?
I got you.
Can we do that?
Copyright.
They hit the same time.
No.
And anyway, and honestly, when
No,
you
I
come
feel like
in,
his head hit first.
number one, you don't need to touch that nigga at that point anyway, but you're coming in. So what I see, you're coming in, now you bring your head down more. That's when you put your head into
It's
it.
not all right.
He's just finishing the play. They're
With your head?
They're taught to do that.
Yeah, but
You're not talking.
Yeah, but your head
Yo.
has to be
Hit
protected.
first.
Sir,
Your
sir,
head has to be
sir,
protected.
college athlete, did they teach you to tackle with your head, my nigga? Oh, word.
Yeah, but his head didn't hit first. That's why it wasn't a
I
penalty.
don't understand.
Nobody teaches you to tackle like
He
that.
should have went in with his
Okay,
like,
first
he was
of all-
clearly going to the ground, and
Yeah.
he was running at him. So all you had to do was just fall on top of him. Why
Hands
did you do the
would've
little
been
torpedo
fine.
dive?
No, some people teach you like some dirty ass shit.
Well, this is dirty shit.
Dirty.
That's just call it what it is.
Township
But
softball,
but,
dirty
like,
ass shit.
that's
She was
what-
like, get
that's
hit
what
into
the NFL
plays.
is. Like,
This is
The
fun.
NFL is dirty?
yeah, what? Yes.
Well, I just need you to acknowledge it then.
Yeah.
Just acknowledge that this nigga's dirty,
Yeah.
and then we can call it what it is.
Yo, you have a quarterback out and running. That team paid his $40,000 fine. I guarantee you.
Oh, that I'm sure.
They fined him like $40,000. Didn't
Really?
They? Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know it got hit today. Because I know
No,
that-
that's fine.
It took,
So
him,
mean
it took him
shit.
a while though. It
Yeah,
took him a
like,
while.
In the locker room, they're telling, good fucking job. You took their quarterback out.
Nah, in some situations the owner will pay it for you.
Think about it. The Saints had the
All
Browns
the time,
shit.
somebody
Saints
is
got a
always
Brownie,
paying for you because you
Program.
guys are
Like,
the.
they do that shit.
We would have won
Take
went
their quarterback out the game, you win.
You keep using the word. You're using the word we.
We.
It's literally like a completely separate team from you. Are you making any money from it?
Listen, Cara.
Then no, it's not your
Goddamn
team.
right. I'm on this
It's
team.
not your fucking team.
I'm on this team.
I'm on this team,
It's
goddammit. I play
Okay,
left
just
center
because you
fan.
Just
I
because
play
you bet for the motherfucking team.
I
doesn't
play
mean it's
right
your team.
center fan, goddammit. And
Exactly.
I command
like
a
the fat
I
ass
co-
motherfuckers would be like,
I command-
I know how to play this.
I
can play
command
this game."
a great
No.
big salary of $0 an hour
Exactly.
and 0 cents.
Exactly.
And I resent
I
your
actually-
fat comment too. How about that? God damn it! This is my show. And you will not.
You would dive to have me on air
No,
multiple times.
no,
I know you really would.
You're my favorite character.
Listen,
I didn't mean it like.
Wait.
No, I know, I'm just
I am on the team.
I just don't
You
like
ain't on
that
any
shit.
fucking team. You're on a podcast right now,
I am
so.
on the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay, first of all,
We.
fuck them birds.
Hey.
Listen.
Now,
Still
Fuck
go
them.
bird.
but you know, it is what it is. I feel like I just don't like when people. I just don't like when people are now using that. Oh well, look at him again. He's getting hurt. Can't like.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
whack.
you can't help that.
Because I feel like
shit,
anybody would
come
have
on,
hurt in that
bro.
situation.
Yeah,
That's
but do you feel like he should have slid though?
Obviously. He's a
Well,
quarterback.
obviously you should slide, but
that's not what
who's
happened.
accounting for people doing that?
Yeah.
What was the timing?
That's not normal.
It was the second drive.
Second drive of the game.
Yeah.
He was trying to get the first
Nah,
down.
you got
He
to
should've
slide.
Yeah, but it was just like
He never does.
I just felt like it was a screenplay. Seattle blew up the screen, so I'm like, bro, just throw it at his feet.
Absolutely, that should have been the decision to do.
But also, think about if Clowney didn't hit him like that, it's a first down. Pretty sure he got the first down.
I don't think it was the first.
Yeah,
It was the first down play, wasn't it?
No, it was.
No, I think he ran and got the first down.
No, yeah. It might have been 2nd and 10, but it doesn't matter. But it's just like it's early in the first quarter.
Throw the ball to the ground.
Yeah, it's not.
Yes, the decision is that he made the wrong decision in that. But nobody should be accounting for people to do that.
Yeah.
That's all.
I mean, I get it.
That's
I
not
don't
normal.
consider that.
That's very not
that,
normal.
I don't consider that an injury because most people are.
I don't think that's
Well, do
injury.
you guys also think about like when you were playing games, like when you were like playing
what we
football
would've done.
or you're like doing whatever? Like I played soccer, softball, bowling, like whatever, all the shit that I fucking did. When you're in an actual play, no matter what the practice is, if you're playing baseball or something and you have your fucking wrist guard shit on and they're telling you L blah 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 blah, some code that corresponds with something else. I know they do that in football too. Like you look at your wrist coach. How much of it, like in the actual moment, are you able to process the information of what's going on right now, as opposed to it being like a practice situation? Like I totally understand where like you're ready for like certain situations and like other things can happen, and it's also I feel like so Monday quarterback of everyone else to be like, I would have done something different. If you think about yourself as being the player in that situation, the high pressure and the whatever, at that moment, are you thinking about, I'm going to score, I'm going to make this we're going to just get over the line, we're going to do this, we're going to do whatever. You don't have that, I feel like,
That's true.
ability to process stuff. And I feel like a lot of times, like, we're just outside quarterbacking, like.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's what all this shit is anyway. It is, and I'm not gonna like.
Yeah, I'll never
say
like,
I'm not
no.
doing
I'll never
that.
be like, well,
But I feel like certain things,
Yeah.
where you've been taught to do a certain thing a certain way,
That's all they do.
all your life,
And there's a right
and now
and wrong
you're
way to
doing
do
it a different way. And
How do you know that it's the right way anyway?
Huh.
people teach you how to tackle people.
And people tell you when it's how.
That's
Yeah, but
like-
I also had like
People say
coaches
that's
that would
why.
teach me like fucked up shit.
Yeah, but we need to now acknowledge that it's fucked up then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know.
But we need to call it what it is.
Yeah.
We can't just call
Call a
it
spade a
well,
spade.
yeah, spade. They'll just be like, oh, it just happened. No. That's something wrong that happened.
Yeah, no.
And now let's take the steps to correct or punish or whatever we're gonna do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but at what point do you want to make like whoever who did the thing like?
And I also feel like if it was any other quarterback, if it was the other way and it was Russell Wilson, there would be something done very immediately.
15.
I feel like they're problem in the league where they pick and choose who they enforce these rules for.
They take care of the better quarterbacks in the league.
And that's a problem. If you're talking about you believe in player safety,
Because
you need to do this for all your
He
players.
did it. He got hit worse than that.
Yeah.
He got,
And Cowboys fans are like, well, if Carson can take that hit,
Which
look
is
at
like- which
look
is
at
like-
Which
his
is
jacket.
dumb because that nigga took smelling salts right after that.
He had to.
You like
And the Cowboys what's it called? Coaching staff took heat for that.
Yeah, but if you look
'Cause
at
he
like,
literally hurt.
but if you look at like the Aaron Hernandez like his podcast and like the documentary that's coming out, it's all about like the mentality of the coaches, like
But-
New England and they're winning and their like certain like coaching perspective where
So
it's
they're gonna
like
do whatever to get the play
it's
on the
like
field.
yeah, it's the kind of thing where like
Well,
you
that's
get,
always been an issue.
yeah
in the
you
NFL.
you get fucked up, so it's like we're gonna put you on medicine and you're
They're
gonna be
trying
okay
to
and
get
you're
rid of that too.
yeah.
That smelling shit.
because
Yeah,
like
because,
that's
that's
like
what you have to do in a lot of situations.
Shot? Well, that's
No,
what
no,
that's on the
no.
ambulance.
That's
No,
what he had to get before
cortisone's a completely different game than smelling salts.
Yeah.
Nah, he had to get that before the Eagles game.
Who wins?
No, Dak.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and the shoulder.
that's just
Yeah.
pain. Like that's pain.
Yeah, that's fake. But
Smelling salts is like to like.
No, smelling
Wake
salts
your
is
ass
literally
up.
just to be awake, but cortisone is like that minimal, like you're gonna get that like relief like immediately, but it's not gonna last long term. But the other thing is that like how many
It's
companies
really like taking in like a leave or something.
No, it's
Like
more than
like
a leave. It's more
I'm just saying it's like
Yeah, like
yeah. It's a time sort of
Yeah.
thing. But it's also like these people are making so much money for these organizations, so like they have to be healthy to a certain extent. And like whatever, and even like Dak hasn't performed how like he was projected to perform. Like that happens.
Speak on exactly how he was supposed to.
Speak on it.
Okay, no, like what Dak like 3 years ago, he was supposed to be like this MVP. He was supposed to be the best player
I
ever.
don't know about that.
Okay, he was one of the top prospects in the NFL, and then he goes to the Giant. He goes to fucking Dallas. Fucking bullshit. Your fucking license plate, whatever. Yeah, and they make a nice sappy NS like PCN fucking like his mom has breast cancer, so everyone feels bad about him, but he's still not like a very good. He's still not a very good player.
I mean, how's he not a good player?
Because he hasn't been fucking performing. What do you mean he's not a good player?
He had his best year this year, though.
Best year this year, but like,
yeah, what happened?
what else has he done before? Like, where has he gone?
Well, I mean, he's only been in the league 4 years. He's been to the playoffs twice.
Okay, but like,
playoff win.
He went home.
All right. Anyway, so he's really not a good. He's really not a good fucking quarterback. That's what.
I mean, he had his best year
of his life. He went home.
He had his best year this year. Granted, he doesn't play for the best team in the world, but
I thought Dallas was America's team.
I mean,
comments.
I think we're America's team because.
Because what? You're fucking trash, and you think you're great. That's America.
We're America. We're America's team because if we don't exist, the NFL doesn't exist.
Business team. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Okay.
How's your owner doing? Is it like a new owner or like?
I mean, we don't need a new owner. He don't do anything.
Oh yeah, I want. Well, we're on y'all right now. So what do you feel about the coaching hire?
At first, I was like, I wasn't too like. First of all, I didn't want him.
First of all, you were like, my team's trash. I'll just take anything. Thank you.
Who did you want?
I wanted Urban Meyer.
Urban Meyer.
Why? I thought you didn't want him.
No, I wanted Urban Meyer because.
You didn't want Lincoln Riley?
Nah. I wanted Urban Meyer because of his defensive philosophies. And, like, if you look at Urban Meyer from Utah, Florida, Ohio State, he's always big on having, like, a good D-line no matter where he goes. That's why he's good wherever he goes because he feels like, which is how the game
Well, don't you feel like that's a fundamental part of football anyway?
It is, but Jason Garrett...
You're just saying, like, the extent that he
Yeah, but, like...
Jason Garrett, well, his former coach is not... They don't believe in doing that.
Yeah, they don't.
For some reason or another.
They don't believe it. So, like, that's why I was like...
That's why you can think, like, in your history, like, in the past... decade? You probably only had one really
when Chip
good Diva.
It's like when Chip Kelly thought you can get anybody to just play any position on offense, and it won't matter because his offense is just that good.
So like we got Mike McCarthy. The reason why he got let go of Green Bay is because people felt like in Green Bay, including Aaron Rodgers, they felt like his offense was a little outdated, and he refused to adapt with the times, which in interviews, he admits. He's like, I didn't adapt with the times. He's like one of those old-fashioned coaches, like, my way works, stuff like that. Like, he doesn't believe in any analytics.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't believe in...
But when you have Aaron Rodgers, you don't have...
Yeah, but, like...
But a lot of people, me included, feel like Aaron Rodgers probably carried that nigga for a long time.
They were saying there was a one drive where Aaron Rodgers audibled every play, and they scored.
I believe it.
I believe that.
Yeah.
So obviously with Mike McCarthy, he has groomed and coached Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Montana, Favre, and
Montana, same birthday as me.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Wow.
Joe Montana.
Joe Montana, yeah.
So that's like that'll obviously be good for obviously Jack. But at the same time, I'm pretty happy about the defensive coordinator. And
do you think Jack will actually be able to do anything coming forward? Do you think they're going to get like somebody else that's better in the position? Because like he was really great. He was really great at the beginning.
They're gonna pay him.
Dak's the guy.
They've already.
Yeah, Dak's the guy. But like, what is like?
Yeah, he's saying.
Do you think they're gonna?
If they
y'all think they're gonna do him like that?
I want a franchise tag, and this is why.
But Dak hasn't done shit.
But like, do what you did. If you can do what
the
you
only
did,
way. This is why they're gonna do that. Wow, I mean, Dak really okay. Let's go with that he hasn't done anything, which he really hasn't. But There's honestly nobody out there that's better that they're going to get, and the way they're trying, what they're trying to do, they're not trying to win in 4 and 5 years. They're trying to win now. Now, when you're trying to win now, you need a quarterback right now, and right now, there's nobody that they can get. Right now, that's better than Dak.
Yeah, well,
and here's the thing. The best
but the thing is, what is Dak actually doing that is benefiting the team? Because we've seen progressively over the years that nothing has been able to add up to anything specifically. Because where are you right now?
I hate that.
We're in playoffs right now. Where are you right now?
I hate that I find myself. I
feel like you guys, everyone, I know your family's Giants family. I know you're Philly.
No, they're all Eagles.
No, I'm Eagles.
Oh, you're Eagles?
No, I find myself...
Oh, I thought... Okay, then fuck you, too. So... No, but I'm just saying, Eagles fans have, they're, talking shit on Dallas fans. You haven't won a championship since when? But it's Eagles, you just won your first championship.
Hey,
and you haven't done shit since.
Hey, man.
It's they tried to do what they did for the Phillies. The Phillies won 2 years in a row. They, built up off of that. But, Philadelphia Eagles weren't able to do that, and everyone's very hype about
our Super Bowl.
Yeah, your Super Bowl, your Super Bowl was fucking great. I got drunk as shit, but you weren't able to progress anywhere from there.
I mean, we're a work in progress. Listen.
It's always a fucking work in progress. You talk to the Jets, it's always it's a rebuilding.
I mean, the Jets haven't won, though. Them niggas
but it's always a rebuilding year. A work in progress.
We're not rebuilding anymore, so we're good. So
we're patching the holes now.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the core is still intact. But, as far as defending Dak, and I hate this nigga. I don't believe in this nigga. I'll never believe in him.
He's got a really great documentary about his mom with breast cancer. I cried. I watched it at Brick Wall, literally in silence.
The only video I watched it with Dak is the one he got his ass beat in Kansas City. But great film. He really needs to learn about him. Anyway, I don't believe in Dak at all. But this is the reasons why I believe they will keep him. One, there's nobody out there better than him. Mm-hmm. Two, positive that he's very durable. He's never missed a game, right? He's dependable. Number 3.
Yeah, but he hasn't done shit in the games he's been in.
He's okay. He's not bad.
He's not.
I think he's trash, but he's not trash.
Well, if you're not terrible, what are you?
But there's nobody else better.
Better than Jameis Winston, not better than Tom Brady.
And you got to think in the young group of quarterbacks, he's in the cream of the crop of the young guys.
No, but I feel usually from a new quarterback.
All right, as a new quarterback, who has done something?
I'm saying as a new quarterback, you're expecting a level of something. Either you're gonna fucking skyrocket, or you're gonna blend into nothing. Yeah. And I feel Dak is the person who he seemed like he had a great.
He started off hot.
Yeah, he started off hot as shit, but he blended into nothing.
But yeah, I will agree.
What?
I found myself agreeing with that very much.
What? I was gonna say it's funny. What quarterback has done?
Yeah, what young?
No other quarterback.
Literally, the only person you can even almost say is Goff, but it's not him.
Yeah, they
got figured out. I feel bad for them actually because
all them young quarterbacks you can say, but if you know what I mean?
Oh,
Jared Goff
with the white dude, Johnny fucking Manziel. He just had that drug fucking shit. It was he could have been great, but
he came with the bomb.
No, he didn't do anything.
The XFL didn't even take it.
He didn't even have a flash of anything.
Yeah, he didn't have a flash.
He was but from beginning.
Yeah, but I'm saying
his flash was college.
Yeah.
But these guys that we're talking about, they had a flash in the pros.
Yeah, but what has Zach done since he actually got into the NFL?
Nothing, but like he said, nobody else has done anything yet either.
Just because nobody else has done anything doesn't mean anyone else is going to come in there and do something.
But then what do you do now? Do you waste a draft pick on a quarterback that you know nothing about now? When you have a whole team.
What did that draft pick that you got from Dak do?
Well, he's a 4th round pick that turned into a 2-time Pro Bowler, and he has franchise records.
You got a lot of bang for your buck there.
When was the last time you guys won a Super Bowl?
It's been 20-some years.
Okay.
Okay, but what does it have to do with Dak? What does it have to do with Dak, though?
Well, I thought he was such a big deal, and he was such a improvement to the franchise.
I don't think he is,
but you step off the field as a quarterback, a whole bunch of defense comes on.
Okay, but
do their job.
So what the fuck are they doing? Obviously nothing.
They gotta work on that.
That's the whole point. That's what we're talking about.
That's what they gotta work on.
Okay, so fuck everyone unless you have a full team.
All right, so like I was saying, you have
So you're saying since the defense is there, just fuck it now?
No, I'm saying
Rebuild it from the scratch?
No, you don't have a defense. What the fuck is the point? That's like that's what I'm getting
all right.
from
So
him.
what I was saying is,
He's like,
I like the defensive hire. He's
yeah, but what about the offense? That's what we're talking about right now.
No. But that's the thing. Now he what he says about his defense is he's a little hard on his defense.
Yeah, a little bit.
His defense is not the worst.
No, it was actually
because it has potential. Like it has spots where they're a good defense.
Okay,
I think
potential doesn't mean shit.
No. Because I can't believe I find myself defending these niggas. I don't like this. But like their defense, I think. It's not bad. It's just the coaching is not there because they don't have discipline. Yeah. They always do because they do a lot of dumb penalties, and it's like coaching is, and like they had the same coach for 10 years. So so if they're still trash after this new coaching regime, now we can definitively say these players suck. They have nothing going on with them,
well, I
and
like
then you move on from there.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is where I will be fair to them because they've had the same coach for a decade, the same system for a decade. Now you have something new. Now that you have something new, if I see that you're still trash, now we know the play is not the system. It's the players are trash.
But do you think
secretly I think it's the players are trash. But we got to be fair and give them a year.
But it's also do you think it's just going to be a year sort of process? Like
it
a
is,
lot.
because
it's not going to happen in one season.
And the reason why
all we need to see is you just said yes and you just said no.
No, all we need to see is progression.
Because that's exactly what you see. Because
you don't need to see a Super Bowl.
Because look,
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you have to see some sort of difference.
All right, so like look,
we will.
But it's also like what division are you in? Like what is everyone else at? And where are you guys at?
As far as listen, and this would benefit for them. As far as they only got they're going to have to worry about us, the Eagles, because the Giants going to stink.
You don't have to worry about shit.
The Giants going to stink, and the Redskins are going to stink.
Yeah.
Okay, that's done. It's done. No matter what they do, what they're bringing out was cute care. You got that off. But like those two are gonna be like you only have to worry about one team, which is the benefit of being in this division. Yeah.
So
now if you still can't beat us, then I mean, so it's just it's just the projecting of how things are going.
So the reason why it's gonna be a learning experience is because we're going from Jason Garrett's offense to the West Coast. So that means that's why they have to eat a franchise.
Which is now also going to be a problem because now
about to turn into Donovan the McNabb.
So because you're leaving Zeke out now. Zeke is gonna
look. That's why it's big that you either have to franchise tag him now or you have to pay him because you need him there for OTAs because we're not running Jason Garrett's system where he could literally hold out and then just show up a couple weeks before the
and still know everything.
No, he doesn't know the playbook, so we need him there. So it's gonna be a whole new verbiage. No, he's not even going to understand all the audibles the first year. Like David said,
there's no way.
It's just no way.
It's just more complicated.
So look, and then they said this. They're bringing Kellen Moore back as the offensive coordinator. Obviously, Mike McCarthy.
As they should.
So you and your coach guys to learn a new playbook.
But obviously, but here's the thing. Obviously, Kellen Moore's the OC, so he's going to put together the game plan. But people don't know Mike McCarthy is the play caller. That's his thing. He's kind of like Doug Peterson. It's a West Coast offense, but he calls the plays. So the offensive coordinator is just kind of just there to put the game plan together, etc. Right? Yeah. That's another thing I don't like. The OC is going to be learning the offense with the quarterback. I don't like that because as a coach, you should know all the insides and outsides of what's going on, and he's not going to know that because he's going to be learning that with Dak.
Well, yeah, obviously it's something you don't want to deal with. But you're in a good situation. This is a good situation. That's a good problem.
But
because you needed it. They need the change.
I don't think that.
They need the change.
I know you need to change.
I had enough of Jason Garrett.
You need to change. No. You need to change, but it's not good that you got your OC and your quarterback learning playing at the same time. And number two, just hold on.
Mike's tutor, but I'm learning.
Yeah. That's like literally, I just gotta stay a chapter ahead of it. Like, nigga, no.
The thing about it is, it's still football, and they're still professional athletes. So it's gonna give it somehow. Some way.
But we are dealing. Hold on.
They hired their coach. This season isn't even done yet.
We're dealing with a bunch of professional.
That playbook.
But we're dealing with a bunch of professional athletes
human too
that are dumb. dumber than average athletes because they have discipline issues because they don't do the plays right. They don't do the shit that they're supposed to be doing for years right. So now you expect this group of dummies to learn a whole new, more complicated thing? I don't know.
You gotta remember, the season isn't over yet.
Now you're also getting away from what you're supposed to be doing because you're supposed to be this run first juggernaut. You're going into this West Coast gun it and throw it and gun it and throw it. What do you do with Zeke now?
Well, are we positive that it's going to be the same offense he was running before?
No, it's the West Coast offense. All right. People got to understand this. The West Coast offense.
No, I mean that McCarthy was doing in Green Bay.
I don't know, but it's going to be the West. People got to understand the West Coast offense isn't a group of plays. There's like, oh, this is the West Coast. The West Coast offense is a philosophy.
Yeah. The philosophy is air that bitch out.
No, the philosophy is it's just a concept of having high-low. So it's kind of like the West Coast offense is kind of like a distraction. Like we're going to send these deep routes and develop these deep routes just so we could throw it here short. That's really the West Coast.
And then you tease them with the short ones, and then eventually the big ones open up.
It's just a whole.
But you hear a lot of throwing.
Philosophy. Yeah. It's the offense that Joe Montana made famous.
So now, what are you doing with Zeke now?
They are pretty like today in the press conference. But Mike McCarthy said we're gonna run the ball. Yeah. And I think that's the best thing.
That sounds like bullshit to me, honestly.
But the thing is,
because he's never been like one type of. But he's never been doing that though.
Yeah, but he never had Ezekiel Elliott though.
I don't know, but you just so what?
Jay Jones is not letting him sit on the sideline.
Just because you have a new toy doesn't mean you know how to use it.
Lord.
Yeah, that is true. But I think
that's like me popping out tomorrow without a motorcycle license. I got a brand new fucking Yamaha in front of my. But I don't know what to do with that shit. It's nice. It's pretty. Great. But what the fuck am I gonna do? As soon as I get on, I'm gonna bust my fucking ass. This is Mike McCarthy with Zeke. He's never had the best he's ever had was close to Aaron Jones, and this was but Aaron Jones before he became nice Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones.
And Eddie Lacy. He had Eddie Lacy.
He had Ahmad Green.
He had fat ass Eddie Lacy.
Ahmad Green was nice.
But I also think that
he had Chinaman tweet Eddie Lacy.
I think
Ahmad Green was nice.
I had
You ever seen the bull?
I think they'll run the ball just because he's calling plays. But like obviously, the most famous thing with this was the Rooney Rule.
Oh yeah.
There was a rumor out that they picked Mike McCarthy last week. They just couldn't do anything because they didn't.
Because they had to interview.
Yeah. So what the Rooney Rule is the NFL has set in place. It's called the Rooney Rule. You have to interview a minority coach before you hire your coach. That's the rule.
You just have to interview one minority.
So Saturday morning.
Dude, I literally was in a meeting today. And they were like, "How do we get more like the Spanish speaking population?" I was like,
more Spanish?
Speak fucking Spanish to them.
Olay?
Yeah, so
but the thing that we see a lot of times from this Rooney Rule is that teams will interview somebody who clearly is not qualified to be a head coach.
And they do it the first
interview.
Just to get it over with.
Exactly. So they'll interview a random running backs coach from the fucking San Francisco Buccaneers.
We did it with Staley. It was fucked up.
Yeah, they did it. They
right,
do Staley, but
no, they do it. They do it all the time because it's like, oh, these black people are whatever, and they don't have their fucking shit together because
they try to make it seem like they were being fair and they're not.
Yeah.
We're being.
Oh, because you're
interviewed a black guy.
You're making the quota.
Yeah,
that's the thing. There's a difference between making the quota and actually being an organization that is fair or whatever.
Exactly. So it happened with the Cowboys and it happened with the Giants as well, right? The Giants interviewed literally.
They interviewed the guy that was that people are like, yo, he's supposed to be head coach. Eric, he's the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs under Andy Reid.
Eric Bieniemy. And I don't understand why he doesn't have a job
because
yet.
Eric Reid calls a play, but
I don't give a shit.
He puts together the game plan for Eric to call those plays. Yeah. And Eric Reid has been on saying he's the reason why Mahomes
Andy Reid.
Andy Reid. Yeah, the reason why Mahomes is able to look like that is because of the installations and everything that Eric is putting together for us.
But
I
people-
would take him in Dallas as our head coach.
Yeah, but like people don't want to think that far. They want to think that like somebody else is directing that person. Who's
Because
making
they
the
have-
choices.
But a lot of people don't want the head of their franchise to be led by a black man. That's what.
And
Well, yeah,
also,
because
they-
why would you? And the majority of like donors or supporters are going to be like,
Because
white
look at the
people.
Giants. They were never drafting Dwayne Haskins.
Never.
They had to be forced.
Yeah.
Nigga, Eli Manning had to die
When Geno
for them to
Smith-
put Geno Smith in for a
When they
game.
did,
And
and
they
they
booed
booed
that
his
nigga.
ass.
Well, you know
Eli
what-
Manning was on his last lung.
He was pissing in a bag.
And they brought in Geno Smith for one
They were
game.
like, bring in Eli in the piss bag.
Bring him out in the Ziploc. Like, it was terrible, bro. They booed Geno Smith to no end, and then they tried to say it's not because he's black.
Well, because
It's
white people hate everything that's not them. Like, if we're gonna be honest,
and it doesn't matter what.
I'm gonna
level
be
you're
like
on.
your white correspondent.
White.
Okay, your white correspondent coming in here. You're not gonna be positive to us. We're gonna dislike it. Okay,
That's
you guys want to say that we're doing something specific towards something else? That's not us. That's just one person. But if you guys do it, it's all black people. Sorry, I don't call the rules.
And that's America.
Yeah, and that's
I guess
today
people-
in America.
And people like have this idea of what a head coach is and what a head coach is supposed to look like. And everybody, most of the people who matter and make those decisions mind, it's an older white guy.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's
And it's not
always
even
old white
not even a
guys.
young dude. Like mostly, like when
Big Bay.
when Big
It's
Bay came on the
gross.
scene. And he's in his 30s, people shit themselves like he's got fucking
He got an offensive lineman older than him.
his hair's not even great.
He
What
even
the fuck?
got his third Viagra prescription.
Like his dick gets hard on its own. He doesn't even have to smack it around first. He just got to think about puss, and he's going at it like an animal.
yeah.
But you know,
And they left.
but once people get out of that mode, and then I think there's hope coming because we're starting to see the shift in players because of quarterbacks. Do you see
More
now you
black
get better
quarterbacks.
black quarterbacks, and you got one that's obviously going to win the MVP,
Thank
and his
God
runner
for
up,
Lamar Jackson.
and then you thought you were going to get out of it. The runner up is black too, bitch.
Yeah,
Hey, you
but
know what I mean?
You know what you need more of, like, because of, like, the decision makers are still those like old ass.
True.
Oh, we'll never
crusty-
get a black. I don't think we're ever going to see a black owner.
In our lifetime, I think
No,
we'll see a
I feel
partial
like we
owner.
can.
No, I think later,
No,
like
we got
yeah,
Serena Williams.
Alright,
they
first
got
of
their
all-
hands in the Dolphins.
Fucking goat.
Did he?
Diddy's gonna do it.
I don't know.
You think Diddy going to do it?
Diddy or Jay-Z?
Yeah.
Because- wait,
to
Corey,
who?
explain-
To what?
Well,
like,
Jay-Z
where are
sold us
they-
out to get it.
Corey,
Fucking
explain
bastard.
one more time exactly what has to go into being an owner. You said this before. but
Okay.
Say it one more
All
time
right,
so people understand.
in order
the
to
magnitude.
be an owner in the NFL, the 31 other teams have to approve you, right? So this is why Donald Trump is not an NFL owner. Granted, he's a billionaire, but all the other owners don't want him to be in their fraternity. That's also why he goes so hard against the NFL with like the cap shit, is because they won't let him in that club.
Right.
And
It's
the other
fucking-
issue was
The other issue is as soon as you buy that team, you have to put down 20%. So with the way the teams are now, like if he was
How
to
much
buy
is
the
20%?
if he was to buy the Bills, if Jay-Z was to buy the Bills, they said he was gonna have to put down like close to over 250 million immediately.
Okay,
Liquid.
probably has that.
Liquid. A lot of people don't have that.
Jay-Z.
It just-
Liquid, just straight
Okay,
cash.
like if
Just
I'm
because-
saying anyone who has liquid 250,000
No, million. I'm talking about million.
million, yeah, it's that motherfucker.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that. But
Yeah.
at the same time, like people think, well, he's a billionaire. He's a billionaire as far as
Yeah, but
net
that's
worth.
like a
That-
different-
Yeah,
yeah.
that's net worth. That doesn't mean that liquid, right? So you have to put down 20% as well as being approved by all 31 other owners. And what do you know? The 31 other owners are all
Are
older-
white as shit.
older,
All
white.
crusty ass
Literally
motherfuckers.
one who isn't.
Who,
He's
like,
the owner of
they
the Jaguars.
literally what?
He's
What?
Middle Eastern.
Middle Eastern.
What, the rest of those motherfuckers have like
They're all white.
wealthy ass people to just lotion them so you look a little like less old.
Shout out
So Robert
Kraft.
Kraft.
If you haven't heard about Robert Kraft,
Oh.
Robbie,
Robbie,
sucky.
owner,
I
if
fucking
you
know,
hear,
dude.
would
Yeah.
be, sucky,
I told
sucky,
you.
fucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why, like, all the owners are billionaires except the Raiders, and that's why they go through what they go through.
Yeah.
Their owner's not a billionaire?
No, he's a
Well, you have to think about the
He got
Raiders.
passed. How did that happen?
He's a family run team.
But
They don't.
But the other thing is that like the Raiders, like they're going they're the ones that are going to
Vegas.
like Vegas. Yeah, but they're also like right outside the Bay Area. They were Oakland based before. You have ever been to Oakland?
No, I haven't.
Oh yeah, it's not fucking nice. Like
That's true. I've heard.
you know, like they've gentrified areas that like I've been to like wineries there, just like being like a white person, just like going like they have like that kind of shit. But like a lot of it's not very nice.
I heard.
And the other fucked part is that like you can only get NFL or like big contract teams in like quote unquote nice areas.
So like, look, Mark Davis owns the Oakland Raiders, right? His net worth is $500 million. That's not a lot compared to the rest of the NFL as far as like money wise. Yeah. So if his net worth is 500, that means liquid. He doesn't have 500 million.
No,
he might have
like he couldn't buy another NFL team.
No.
He couldn't.
Well, I feel like no one should have that kind of money in like, the first place, but like, who am I to judge?
Just look at
think Jeff Bezos might do it?
Yeah, fuck that.
Jeff Bezos could buy the fucking NFL.
Yeah, but again,
Jeff Bezos
And nigga wear skirts.
I'll make all the niggas wear Amazon. Yo, you're the Philadelphia Amazons. You're the Baltimore Amazons.
So like, look,
You're the Texas Primes.
The Baltimore Bezos. The Buffalo Bezos.
So look, now we have Jerry Jones here, right? His net worth is $8.4 billion.
God damn.
Yeah, it's just the difference.
That money's racist.
Jerry Jones.
What is it? April for Bill?
Yeah, $8.4 billion.
Jesus. That's really Candyland.
All that money are still,
That's
but
Candyland in Dallas, man. Fucking
Mhm.
That nigga can buy Texas.
He can buy us.
and sell
He
me
can buy
and have a lot of change.
When they were building the stadium was like, I think it was like $1.1 billion.
Talk about Dallas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was like,
but
they
I'll,
also
put, up, I'll put up $500 million, and the state of Texas put up the other half, and they did no, yeah.
Yeah, because the other thing is that they get a lot of like internal revenue.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
the people who are working for them, like
No,
the people who are doing like if you think about like
renovations and all that shit.
the renovations, just people doing parking stuff. Like you have a lot of contractors, you have all that. But the thing is, like the majority of the money still goes back to the owners,
Yeah,
and
so
those are
that's
all
what
just
I'm
like
saying.
old crusty ass white dudes who are like trying to fuck 16-year-old girls, which goes back to Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself.
All right.
Bam!
I think that's
We always come back to the
that's a
beginning,
good.
and I think
That's a great spot.
Yeah, that's it.
You come full circle.
Yeah, because like fuck them white guys, fuck their money, but also take it out.
All right, guys.
You should put that in like that sounds like an OnlyFans.
That should be on. That should be in a hat.
Yeah.
Fuck them white guys, also,
Also,
take their money though.
I wish I would have brought my hat.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Cara,
Oh yeah.
friggin' with the ball ass Cara T Customs.
Carrot Customs.
Yes, and I wish I brought my hat. But is there anything you would like to promote? Say anything before we leave? That was on camera. Thank you.
So I work for a nonprofit. It's called FYO. You can find us at fyofoundation.org. We provide 100% free security equipment and self-defense classes and security assessments to people in domestic violence or violent crime situations and or like sexual assault situations where they feel like they're in imminent danger. Also, I advocate for people with organ transplants. So my family was lucky enough that my brother had so many people signing up to be a donor. There was wait lists, but a lot of the non-white population, they don't have that kind of donor situation in terms of blood donors and or organ donors. So like everyone has to get involved. And keep doing you.
Also,
Keep on rocking in the free world.
she's been being real selfish, being selfless with her platform. She also makes custom clothing and items.
shit.
And everything.
Follow her on Instagram, Cara T Customs.
It's CARATCUSTOMS. I can't spell for shit.
Yeah.
Carrot Customs on Instagram. I'll make whatever you want.
Real baller shit. You know what I mean? Anybody else? Y'all got stuff going on this weekend?
I'll be at Brick Wall on Friday getting real nasty drunk.
Okay.
I feel like we should like totally link up for like an organizer, like a a fundraiser for my nonprofit.
Oh yeah.
Especially you have a really great crowd, and we need to get more into
I DJ for anything.
not white people. That's the biggest problem.
Raise your hand if you against sexual assault.
Put your hand out, you're white.
Yeah, it really is. A lot of the problem is that a lot of nonprofits are started by white people just trying to help white people, and they're like, why can't we get into other communities?
Because you don't try.
I'm a fucking white person. How am I gonna I'm lucky to have you guys that respect my opinion, but there's a lot of platforms that we don't have. It's good people trying to do good shit, but you also need that the people in there to make it trustworthy.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. I don't have anything. All right, guys. Just make sure. Thanks for listening. Thanks for make sure you follow us on Twitter at NTS Pod, Instagram at Not That Serious Pod. Go on the website ntspodcast.com where you can check all our streaming websites where we're available at. Go on the merch site, get some merch, donate some money, drop some cash on our ad.